All right, well, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in. It's Friday night, and you all know what that means. Time for some Wildcats hockey brought to you by Armored Roofing. Wildcats Bulls coming your way very shortly. The Amarillo Bulls in from West Texas to play their historic rivals, the Wildcats, in a best-of-one series here this evening in K. Yeager Coliseum. Tonight also marks a very special and memorable night for a lot of those of you tuning in who've been tuning in for a while with this team. You know full well these games have not been broadcast in HD, certainly not from K. Yeager Coliseum in years past. Tonight, I'm proud to be with you for an historic moment, the first ever high-definition broadcast live from K. Yeager Coliseum. There have been several issues that we've been dealing with already making the transition. For example, our cameraman, Mike Trebbing, he's not going to be able to view the puck from the TV, which he would usually set up just to his left. The TV was set up and the camera was set up beneath him. Now it's on his side. He's had to adjust. Mike gets a big stick tap from us here at the Wildcats, doing a great job accommodating us. And on such short notice, switching over to the HD broadcast and having to maybe not be quite as comfortable as he normally is down there with the camera work. So you'll have to bear with him. Tonight will not be perfect from a broadcasting perspective, folks. All of you tuning in, I just want to apologize in advance. We are going to have some problems. In all likelihood, the internet will cut in and out a little bit here tonight. So just be wary of that right now. Again, I apologize in advance. That, in fact, has nothing to do with the HD upgrade. The internet has been wonky here all season. Well, not really all season, all week, I should say. Just kind of cutting in and out. I had a gentleman come over from Pinnacle, our internet service provider. He had a look at it. He recalibrated some of the lines and the Ethernet cable that was running from the box in the video board room all the way up here. He changed things up a little bit, made it so that the encoder could actually pick up the Ethernet cable, because before it wasn't doing it at all. So now it's picking it up, but it is cutting out in and out quite often. So for those of you watching on fasthockey.com, just be wary of that. That will probably, no, it will undoubtedly be an issue tonight. So thank you for your patience. We expect to have it all fixed at 100% for next Saturday night's game against the Shreveport Mudbugs. Fortunately, though maybe not fortunately for some of you listening who always love to tune into some Wildcats hockey, but tomorrow night we will not have a game. This is the best-of-one series against the Amarillo Bulls, the second best-of-one series between the Wildcats and the Bulls, the only other this season, coming in the home opener. And now we've got an always welcomed guest, Big John Wilson, who will be singing our country's national anthem. The crowd now all on its feet, awaiting the singing of our country's national anthem, the likes of which will be done by Big John Wilson, who always does such a tremendous job, and you can hear the standing O he's getting from the crowd. We'll have our starting lineups brought to you by Pelican's Restaurant just after the anthem. Stand by. And he gets a roaring round of applause from the K. Yeager Coliseum here, folks. Just a second, excuse me, 1 second while I have a quick word with somebody. I will be right back. Stay with us. Starting lineups and more coming your way. All right, sorry about that, folks. Just had to clear something up with one of our defensemen, who, by the way, will be a second period guest for tonight's game. For those of you who don't know him, Ryan Orgel, one of the nicest young men you'll ever meet, native of Los Angeles, California. He is serving the third and final game of his 3-game suspension that he was given back in Blaine, Minnesota for the showcase late in September. So Ryan Orgel serving his last game. He will in the suspension. He will be tonight's second period intermission guest. Speaking of guests, the man you see down there, that is Hillbilly Jim waving to the crowd, along with Short Sleeve Samson, whom he gives a high five to. Excellent to have those two gentlemen, legendary Hall of Fame wrestlers, as tonight's ceremonial puck droppers presented by Qdoba. And now on to our starting lineups presented by Pelican's Restaurant. It is Evan Moyes getting the nod in net once again. He has been a stone wall in between the pipes for the Wildcats. Certainly a dependable goaltender, somebody who Coach Curtali and the Wildcats coaching staff and their teammates and the players can all count on. Evan Moyes had a really good start to the season. On defense, Seamus Donahue, Jonathan Waring. Up front, Alexei Poikala, Ryan Burnett, Jonathan Bendorf. Flanking for the Amarillo Bulls, it's that line with number 25, Stephen Ipri, who scored a goal against the Wildcats last time. Hayden Broomhead, Brendan Walcom on defense for Amarillo. Starting tonight, Jeff Solo and Quinn Warmoth, and in net, Nikita Babintsev will be squaring off against the Cats for the first time this season. We get an early icing called against, or offside rather, against Amarillo here, and a penalty will be called as well for an ugly-looking check into the half boards in the Wildcats zone. Just 20 seconds into this game, we've already got our first penalty. Seamus Donahue heads to the sin bin. The Wildcats penalty kill is brought to you by Parkway Grill, and this first period of Wildcats hockey is presented by American Classifieds. Donahue to the penalty box. The Amarillo Bulls to a very early power play. We'll see what they can do. I think undoubtedly this year, Donahue being regarded as the #1 defenseman on the Wildcats. He has proven that time and time again, most recently being named captain by Coach Curtali and the entire team. As a matter of fact, I've heard from multiple sources that it wasn't simply a coach's decision, it was a team vote. Seamus Donahue, the captain, and again, I'm sure you've all heard by now, Alexei Poikala, Ryan Burnett, and Ryan Orgel named the alternate captains of the Wildcats for the 2016-17 campaign. The last time a captain has been named here in Wichita Falls was under Paul Baxter, so the coach before John LaFontaine. That was Sam Piazza, who's now playing at the University of Michigan. Amarillo in control now in their own zone. Picking up the puck and skating it out to center is Hayden Broomhead. And the Bulls will have to reset in behind their own net. Carson Moniz with the puck on his stick. Throws it out into the neutral zone. Brendan Walcom couldn't kick it to his stick, but the puck rolls its way into the near side corner in the Wildcats' end. Dom Sipus is back there to play it. Plays a little bit too far there for Jonathan Waring, and the Cats able to exit their own zone. No, it was kept in beautifully, left point. Now they scrum away for it. Finally, the Cats get it past the blue line. Now Amarillo must reset. Carson Moniz has it. At the right point, Muniz sends it point to point with a nice pass, long wrist shot. Moyes never saw it. It didn't get all the way through. Backhand shot at the side of the goal. Walcom has it. He has to carry in behind, and the puck bounces up and off the netting and out of play. That was a pretty close call. The Amarillo Bulls nearly with a very early goal. They had a very early goal just a minute and a half into the first game, the home opener. Tonight also marks the debut of a young Swiss-born defenseman, the first Swiss-born defenseman, I should add, in Wildcats history. Kareem Del Ponte, sporting the number 27, gets his first start in a Wildcats uniform, so we're very much excited to see what Kareem Del Ponte can bring to the table. Face-off win by Amarillo. Left point, long wrist shot deflected down by Dom Sipus as it trickles its way wide of the net. The Cats are able to clear it down the ice as time winds down on their Parkway Grill penalty kill. Matt Nels will control behind his net. He sweeps it away from the forecheck of Isaac Cabina. Amarillo's Charlie Singerhouse down his off wing, bodied off the puck by Isaac Cabina. Loose puck corralled by Jacob Nitchie, who throws one horizontally there for Matt Nels. Down low for Foreman. Lots of veterans on this unit for Amarillo. The Bulls can't keep it in the offensive zone. Seamus Donahue's out of the box as Moyes gloves a long floating shot and hangs onto it. And no further play. The Wildcats 1 for 1 on the Parkway Grill penalty kill, which has struggled from time to time this season, as has their power play. Last season they were pretty spoiled on both of their special teams units. Well, it's a been a point of concern, something that Coach Curtali and Coach Nelson have been trying to address in the practices. This face-off now will take place to Moyes' right. Won cleanly by Ilya Skvortsov. Played a little bit too far for Dom Sipis. Tilly has it and throws it just out to center near the red line as Tyler Hall has it. Throw it back in. Moyes will sweep it away from the forecheck. The Cats able to clear it down the ice. Icing being waved off by one of the linesmen, Alexios Karabetsos. Cats go to work along the boards and win the puck. Sipis long wrist shot, deflected down, didn't get all the way through. The sixes converge over their far corner. Sipis puts it low for Ricky Carballo, who tries to sweep it along down there for Tilly. Play broken up and intercepted by Ilya Skvortsov, who finds Sipis. Long shot deflected by Tilly into the corner. Nels, aided by his teammates, are able to clear there and back out to center. The Cats regrouping there. Stephen Tilly flying down the right side, back into the Amarillo zone. Waits for some help, drops it off for Carballo. The trailer, long slap shot, didn't get much of it. Donahue, nice pass in front of the net, backhanded up and over top of the crossbar by Ilya Skvortsov as Tilly pushed off possession there by Truscott, and the Bulls are able to clear. So here comes Amarillo's number 15, Cooley. Eric Cooley throws it backdoor, nice little pass as it's swept back into the high slot by Costa Lucarezus, the North American Hockey League's leading scorer this season with 14 points to his name, also an overtime winning goal off a penalty shot goal in the home opener against the Wildcats back on September 9th. Cabinia with a shot, just missed, and Donahue has the rebound, but the net's been knocked off rather. So we get a whistle and a stoppage of play here with 4 minutes gone by in this hockey game. No score through the first 4 minutes. 2-1 your shots in favor of Amarillo. Again, folks, thanks so much for joining us on our first ever high-definition broadcast from K. Yeager Coliseum. As was mentioned in the pregame show, in case you weren't with us, we are going to have problems. I saw a couple folks on Twitter asking if the feed was down. It's very possible. In fact, it's probable if you're asking that it was down temporarily. We expect it to shoot or just kind of turn off from time to time. It'll probably happen multiple times throughout the game. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do. I had some folks from Pinnacle come out, long wrist shot smothered by Evan Moyes. Had some folks from our ISP come out and take a look at it. They did all they could to fix it, and they did a pretty good job, but there are still some issues, and every once in a while, the feed will probably go down tonight. So just be patient, refresh it after maybe wait a minute or two, refresh the page, and it should come up just fine, or X out and log back in. But unfortunately, that's the best we can do tonight. And believe it or not, it's got absolutely nothing to do with the fact that we've upgraded to HD. We're all squared away there. It's just two separate issues that happen to coincide with one another as Bendorf deflects the Burnett pass up and over top of the net and out of play. Completely unrelated. Yeah, HD and the internet here. So, again, we had somebody come out and look at it, and he was able to stabilize it for the time being, but it's still very wonky. And first thing Monday morning next week, we'll try to get somebody else back out here. Perhaps the same gentleman who came by did a good job of at least making it possible to get the encoder here to realize it was plugged in, because for a while it wasn't even doing that. Sometimes it's a simple little thing that you can't really explain. So many little things that can go wrong. Fees tries to put it into the attacking zone. It's broken up by Amarillo, and they're going to reset. Cole Lucier will drop it back for Tyler Hall. Puck is swung out off the stick of Kareem Del Ponte, who touches it along further. The Cats will sweep it in. Reese clears it into the Amarillo zone. Tyler Hall is there, and he will reverse the pass. The Bulls able to work a pretty smooth transitioning breakout here. Floated over the stick of Roman Canal into the near side corner. Foreman battling for it. Canal got a piece of him. Puck swatted out past the Wildcats blue line, out to the neutral zone. Long wrist shot from 70 feet or so, gloved and held by Evan Moyes, and he gets a whistle. 5 minutes and 35 seconds into this hockey game. We're scoreless here at K. Yeager. 4-1 the shots in favor of the Amarillo Bulls. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Hope you're having a great Friday night. So Skvortsov getting booted from the face-off circle. Carballo wins the draw. Around the boards, Nitchie will feed it back to the blue line. Long shot, stopped by Moyes with the pad, picked up by Foreman, sent it for Nitchie. He missed the net. The Foreman shovels it low, trying to get it to Singerhouse or Nitchie. Foreman ends up with it in the circle and fires off the mask of Moyes as it rolls its way harmlessly behind the Wildcats' goal, where four players battle for it. Sipus, the one joining the party late, shoveled it out of the ice and into the bench and out of play. I believe this faceoff will stay in Wichita Falls territory. Wildcats win the defensive zone faceoff cleanly as Burnett swivels his way into the Amarillo zone, finds the trailer and Blake Kriska. Play broken up nicely by a back-checking Amarillo Bull, Eric Cooley. Kriska has it left point, throws it to the side of the net. Burnett picks it up from behind the goal. He lost possession. Mika will start the rush out the other direction. Costa Licarezus dancing his way into the Wildcats' end. Lost it to Ryan Burnett and Blake Kriska. Burnett has it now in the neutral zone. Mika intercepts. Cuts in over the Wildcats' blue line, finds a man open, and it's sent into the slot for Licarezus. His shot didn't get much on it. No trouble whatsoever for Evan Moyes, who was a perfect 7 for 7 to start this game. Scoreless. 6.5 minutes at K. Yeager. Another defensive zone face-off win by the Wildcats as Jonathan Waring starts his way out to center. Marching on in now, it's Ethan Daniels dropping it off to the right side for a wrist shot, denied by Babinsev as Daniels pinned up behind the Amarillo goal line. Several players scrapping for possession. Along the far half boards, Amarillo able to win it, but it's kept in from the point. Jonathan Waring will take it. Waring from a sharp angle decides whether or not to shoot. He does, and it missed the crossbar high. Long shot from Canal blocked. Isaac Cabinia fetches it in the left side corner. Looks, throws it too far for Regula. Goes all the way through to Waring. Long shot deflected well wide. Didn't have much mustard on it. Cabinia throws it low. Cabinia gets the pass from Daniels. Finding Waring. Waring right circle with a drive. Went off an Amarillo skate. That stung whichever Bull blocked the shot there. You could tell. I think it was Brendan Walcom who blocked it. Stress. Waring keeps it alive at the right point, floats it high in the air, into the far side corner. Amarillo in control. Tyler Hall will throw it up. The Bulls escape with no harm done. Best shift of the game for the Wildcats as Stephen Ipri brought down to his knees. Has it on his off wing. Lost it. Here comes Amarillo on a 3-on-2. Quick developing. Brought across the Wildcats blue line. Shot, stick save, rebound. And it's rescued there by Kevin Fees, who will start the rush down the left wing side, his more comfortable wing. He will blast it into the glove of Nikita Babinsev, who will hang on to it and no further play. Roman Canal broke up the play with his skate nicely as he was back checking into his own end after Amarillo exited their own zone. Canal will try to sweep it around a little bit too far for Kareem Del Ponte. Shot turned just wide of the net. Jeff Salau. And now Kareem Del Ponte will dust the puck off behind his own net. Jeff Skinner, by the way, with the puck on his stick now, making his Wildcats debut with a shot just missed wide stick side. Wouldn't that have been something? Jeff Skinner was brought on board from Brookings, South Dakota. The Brookings Blizzard of the North American Hockey League was traded for a tender. Coach Curtale very excited about the prospect that Jeff Skinner brings to the table. Roman Canal has it right point. D-to-D pass, Dom Sipus fan on the one-timer. Carvalho jostling for it, fought hard, and he was rewarded with winning the puck. Babinsev will leave it for Matt Nels behind his net. He will just sky hook it out to center. Over Blake Kriska now for Ilya Skvortsov. Here he comes. Skvortsov turns on the Jets, powers his way to the net, shoots, what a save. Rebound, Tilly's shot stopped by Babinsev, and he hangs on. Ilya Skvortsov scored 2 goals in the last series against the Odessa Jackalopes, both of which were from similar-looking plays. Of course, one came from the left side, the other from the right. The second goal he scored looked almost identical to that rush you just saw. Only the only difference was he put the puck in the net last time. This time, Babintsev was better. Both goalies with a pretty solid start to this game. We're scoreless here about halfway through the first. Puck thrown from Carballo off the stick of Babintsev, carried out by Eric Cooley, who throws it out to center. Play broken up nicely by Blake Kriska, who read the pass nicely, got it away from George Mika, but Cooley resetting. Cooley lost it. Carballo giving a finished check there from Michael Foreman. Cooley has it. So he will skate it down the right wing, up ice. Cooley crisscrossing there with Costa Licarezus. Here comes George Mika. Tried to drop it off for Cooley, no dice. Back to the point. Solo teeing it up and shooting it. What a blast. Moyes with a big save. Solo loves to shoot the puck. He's proven that on several occasions, and he loves playing in this building. Look out for number 21 tonight in red from the blue line. He can hammer slap shots from there. Bombs away from Jeff Salau. Moyes with a big stop, though there was no traffic. That was a laser. And now we go to our first period media timeout. We're going to take a short 30-second break. Stay with us, everyone. All right, welcome back, folks. Hope everyone's having a great Friday night. We're happy to be bringing you our first ever high-definition broadcast on fasthockey.com, live from K. Yeager Coliseum. So, we wish it came on a night in which we weren't having internet issues, but what else can you do? Here's a 2-on-1 developing. Poikala right side, passes across. Bendorf is in, and he lost possession of the puck. Boy, he looked to have a tap-in goal. I think he tried to go backhand instead of just shooting it. And that came back to bite him. Right point, Waring long shot, deflected into the corner. Chasing it down now and picking it up will be Jonathan Bendorf, who will swing it low. It hobbles away from Ryan Burnett's stick. And Poikala runs into his opposing number 21, Jeff Salau. Poikala in front, spinning and turning, trying to find it there was Bendorf. Couldn't find it. Donahue has it, now in the neutral zone. Donahue for Jonathan Bendorf. Backhands one crisply along for Ryan Burnett, who waits. He drops it off. Poikala tees it up and blasts it. Stopped by Nikita Babintsev. And no rebound conceded. The second half of that sentence is the more impressive one. That was a laser beam from Alexei Poikala. Defensive zone face-off for Amarillo. They win the draw. They get the job done as Cole Lucier slammed up along the glass by Isaac Cabinia. Zone back past the Amarillo blue line. Matt Nels trickles it along. Roman Canal will fetch it behind his net. Ethan Daniels, his outlet pass didn't work out. Truscott intercepts it. Tries to spin it on goal. Stick handling in his way, shooting it. It was Lucier, and Moyes able to make the stop. Jonathan Dagnall had it knocked off his stick right in front of the net. He looked like he was going to be in with a really good scoring opportunity. Fine defensive play made between Roman Canal and Ethan Daniels there on that last shift. Kareem Del Ponte lines up on the left side. Taking the faceoff will be Isaac Cabinia against Amarillo's Hayden Broomhead. Broomhead wins the draw. Nitchie can't control it. CJ Regula can. Out at center. Dodge the bullet. Nitchie would have crashed into him along the sideboards. He not hesitated or pulled up, I should say, Regula at the last moment there. Dodged a bullet. The Bulls in control in front of their own bench here. Charlie Singerhouse stick handling past Kareem Del Ponte, who gives him a shove. after he knew he was beaten. Smart play by Del Ponte to buy some time. Now it's Cabinia one-handing it along. Wildcats able to push it beyond the Bulls goal line, or blue line I should say. Kevin Fee's gunning it down. Mitchie. Goodwin had the puck or the stick knocked out of his hands as thrown through the goal mouth well wide. Kriska catching up to it at the left point. George Mika knocking the puck off his stick. Mika is defended well as Jeff Skinner back to play it in front of his own goal, which has been knocked off, and finally the referee seeing that blows the play dead. Mika tried to pull off that wraparound. That the good forecheck, good relentless pressure put on by George Mika. You see why number 19 in red, Amarillo's alternate captain, George Mika, was named September's Forward of the Month last year with 13 points, but it wasn't just his point production that got him that honor. He has just been such a dynamic leader for Matt Nicholson's Amarillo Bulls. Number 19 in red this season, look out for him, folks. That line, Mika and Licarezus together alongside Eric Cooley, who's been a nice little counterpart to that line as well. Licarezus and Mika, two of the league's top 3 scorers already this season. Tyler Hall, long wrist shot, tip just wide at the far side post. But what we could be seeing, I think, folks, is something pretty similar to what we saw from Odessa last year. Here's a 2-on-1 for the Wildcats. Tilly nearly got the pass from Skvortsov, just a little bit too high and over his stick. Carballo swivels his way deep into Amarillo territory. Tilly with a good stick, pried it free from George Mika. Mika doesn't want to give up on the puck, but Tilly's a little bit too quick for him. Centers it all the way through, back to the high slot. Cypress's long blast did not get through the traffic. Carballo has it, back to Dom. Dom Cypress, left circle with a shot, in and out of the glove. I think it just got a piece of Nikita Bavintsev's glove. Now Tilly in low for Skvortsov, swatted along but not out. Cypress keeps it. Spins it to Ilya Skvortsov. It went past his stick. He was left-handed, wasn't expecting a pass to come in that vicinity, wasn't in his wheelhouse. Tilly keeps it alive, finds Skvortsov with a shot, glove save, rebound, Carballo scores! And he went tumbling into the net shortly thereafter, but it's going to count regardless. Ricky Carballo with his 3rd goal of the season. The Cats with a 1-0 lead. And Amarillo scores immediately thereafter. I want to be honest, folks, I was getting ready to update the folks on Twitter. And just like that, Amarillo has responded. I'm not sure half the folks in this building know what's going on. Stephen Ipri with the goal. Amarillo has tied at 1-1. Just finishing making the graphic for Carballo's goal. That couldn't have been more than 10 seconds. And that's the worst time to give up a goal, aside from in the last minute of regulation, of course, or in overtime, obviously. Aside from those 2 instances, I'd say the worst time to give up a goal is immediately after you score one of your own. It's just such a buzzkill. Broomhead with some slick puck handling. Springs Nitchie left side, quick shot, zipped wide of the net. Kept alive right side point. Crowder throws it D to D, long wrist shot just off target from Matt Nels. Fees will lay it along now out to the right side. Bobby DeFriest clears it past Nels into the attacking zone. Crowder puts it behind his net. The Bulls able to fly it down the ice. Evan Moyes has it. Around the near side boards. Poikala jabs it up for Bendorf. Scott and Poikala scrapping for it. Canal picks it up, throws it rink wide there for Ryan Burnett, who turns on the Jets. Burnett against Nels to the goal. Burnett had his stick checked by Nels nicely. Burnett finds a wide open Roman Canal at the opposite circle. Canal looking. Del Ponte wants it. Burnett tips it just wide at the near post. And Poikala scurries over to jab the puck off of Truscott. Poikala gets it right back. Spins it into the slot. Canal with a shot. Glove save. Rebound swatted out of there, cleared down the ice. Icing will be called against Amarillo. 4:49 to go in period one. It's a 1-1 hockey game. The goal scorers tonight, Ricky Carballo for the Wildcats, Stephen Ipri for the Bulls, who has got 2 goals in as many games in this building this season. Is thrown off the glass in the Amarillo zone. Blake Kriska will fetch it out at center. Drop it off for Dom Sipus. Returns it for Kriska, who marches on up through the neutral zone and flies it into the opposite corner. Clearing attempt there by Foreman. Didn't get out. Sipus pinching down into the far boards. Playing the point position. Isaac Kabinia swings it D-to-D for Kriska. Long shot swallowed up by Nikita Babintsev. Technically, it wasn't D-to-D, it was Kabinia at the point. So it was a point-to-point pass from Kabinia to Kriska. Long, accurate wrist shot, but Babintsev able to see it all the way. The Russian goaltender, now 9 of 10. The Wildcats, Ohio-born goaltender, 10 of 11. Face-off will now take place to Nikita Babintsev's right side. Throws it behind the Bulls' net. Solo can't clear it. Sipus puts it low for Isaac Kabinia, who's sized up by Solo. Now Kriska meets up with it. Kabinia throws one diagonally into the opposite corner. Solo lost it. CJ Regula picks it up on the right side. Looking back to the point, finding an open Skvortsov, pass a little bit behind him. Skvortsov with a sharp angle shot. Turned aside easily by Babintsev. I don't know if Skvortsov saw or heard. He had Kriska wide open calling for the pass. Dom Sipus now for Blake Kriska, left point. Throws it just wide of the net. It was tipped wide, I think, by Skvortsov, who scurries to the Wildcats bench for a line change. That was Tilly, rather. Skvortsov is still playing it. Here's Jeff Solo. Carballo fly right past him. George Mika now in front of the penalty boxes will clear it behind Evan Moyes' goal line. 3 minutes to go in the first period. Tied up at a 1-1 hockey game here at K. Yeager. Certainly a better start than the last game the Wildcats played in this building. An offside whistle against Wichita Falls. For those of you who weren't with us last Sunday, well, let's just say you're lucky. Not a pretty performance put on by the Wildcats. Really had difficulty generating offense and skating. Basically, that's what it came down to from what I saw, is the conditioning, the skating, especially in the third period. Odessa just had so much more gas than the Wildcats did. The Jackalopes cruised to a 7-2 win, which coincidentally is the largest margin of defeat the Wildcats have suffered since the last time they lost a game in regulation time in this building, which took place on December 19th, 2015 against the Lone Star Brahmas. 8-2 was the final in that game. That was the last time the Wildcats had been outscored by 5 goals or more in a single game. It was a night to forget for the Wildcats, and there were lots of fights to go along with it. Did not come without its share of black and blue, that's for sure. Wildcats will be guilty of charging or interference, perhaps. Jonathan Waring, the kneeing is the call against number 4 in white, Jonathan Waring. So Seamus Donahue's counterpart, his defensive partner. Donahue took the first penalty, Waring took the second. The Bulls back to their second power play of the evening. Cats 1 for 1 on the Parkway Grill PK. Face-off will be to Evan Moyes' left side. Head getting kicked from the circle. Welcome to take his place. Now Cooley to take Welcome's place. Cooley wins it. Muniz throws it low. In the near side corner, Welcome stymied by Dom Sipus. Alexei Poikala emerging with possession of the puck on a 2-on-2 developing. He's got Ryan Burnett with him. With a burst of speed, Ryan Burnett flies down the right wing. He's in for Poikala. He didn't score. I thought he did. How did that one stay out? I am not sure. The speed of those two alone is enough to put opposing defenses on their heels, and once they're on their heels, they are burnt instantly. I'm not sure how that puck didn't end up in the net. Get a closer look at it. Maybe you folks tuning in on fasthockey.com with the HD cameras can tell me. So Donahue will blast it around the wall, and it goes out to center. And beyond. Stephen Ipri in possession behind his own net. Will leave it for Jeff Solo. Seeing less of Tyler Hall on power plays now and more of Jeff Solo. So Mika will swing it back in his direction. Gets the cross ice pass, does Mika. Back to Solo with a blast. Blocked. Mika has it in the near corner. Goes it behind the net. Broomhead goes back up high. Costa Licarezus. Broomhead. All the way through from Ipri to Solo. Now to George Mika. Top of the right circle with a blast. Blockered away by Evan Moyes, but not out. Kept by Jeff Solo in the blue line. Now it's Ipri swinging it to Mika. Wrists one back door. I think he was hoping for a tap in by Hayden Broomhead. No luck. Jeff Solo nearly had his pocket picked by Kevin Fees. He still has it. Tried to go into the slot for a one-timer from Ipri. Didn't work out. Then Broomhead fouled up. Lost it to Kevin Fees. Poikala will clear down the ice. The Wildcats look like they're going to be 2 for 2 on the Parkway Grill penalty kill. 35 seconds to go in period 1. A 1-1 your score. 12-10 your shots in favor of Amarillo. Marching on up now is Captain Matt Nels, who lasers one on goal from 100 feet. Easy blocker saved there by Evan Moyes. Foreman goes into the right corner to get it. The Cats 2 for 2 on the PK. Out of the box now is Jonathan Waring, who went straight to the Cats bench. 17 seconds showing on the clock for the remainder of period 1. Tripped up there was Ilya Skvortsov, and nothing called for that. Donahue backpedaling now. Sipus has it out at center. 6 seconds to go. Crunched up is Skvortsov. Trying to swagger his way by. He has it, but he runs out of time. Unable to make a play. That's going to wrap things up. Our first period comes to an end. 1-1 your score. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast, everyone, on fasthockey.com. I'm taking a look at the preview now. It looks great in high definition, doesn't it, folks? Hope you're enjoying it. I certainly am. Again, we apologize for the constant disruptions you're going to experience throughout the evening. Unfortunately, at this point, it is inevitable. I didn't wait till the last minute. I knew that there was a problem. I had it diagnosed earlier this week. I had somebody from our internet service provider, Pinnacle, come and take a look at it. It appeared to be fixed, and of course, the second he left, we started experiencing issues again. But it is better than it was when before he got here, that's for sure. So progress, but not satisfaction, not just yet. Hopefully for next Saturday night's game, which, by the way, is a big one, back to Blue Night against the Shreveport Mudbugs. The Cats will be playing the Mudbugs for the first time in franchise history. We're very much looking forward to that game, of course, not just for the fact that it will be those teams' first ever matchup with one another, but also because of Back to Blue Jersey Night. Gentlemen in uniform showing their police officer badge will be granted free access or free admission to the game. They're allowed to bring up to 4 family members with them who will get $5 admission. For tickets normally more expensive than that, so we're really trying to get some local law officers into the building here on next Saturday night on October 15th, because we really admire and appreciate what they do for the Wichita Falls community. Crazy Cat is on the ice, which I'm thrilled to be able to say that tonight. I didn't expect to be able to say that. As a matter of fact, I took her completely out of the script for tonight's game, and I told our PA announcer, Charles, sorry, Charles, no Crazy Cat tonight. She's always full of surprises. I was told that she was sick and wouldn't be able to make it tonight, but she has made it. In the meantime, we're going to step aside, take a short break here from K. Yeager Coliseum for our first intermission. When we come back, we'll have some updates for you from around the North American Hockey League and let you know what the Wildcats must do in period 2 to march out to a lead against the Amarillo Bulls, the likes of which they have not had much this season. They had one in this game, and it disappeared just seconds after they got it. All that and more coming your way next. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be back. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks so much for your patience. We appreciate having you with us on the air tonight. Alex Von Coitel live from K. Yeager Coliseum, hoping you're having a great Friday night wherever you may be, tuning in on either fasthockey.com for our first ever high-definition broadcast from K. Yeager, or on YouTube, tuning in. Thank you so much. We appreciate having you with us. 1-1 the score through the first 20 minutes. The Wildcats scored a goal at the 13:26 mark of period one. It was a goal scored by Ricky Carballo, his third of the season. He was set up by a big juicy rebound conceded by Nikita Babintsev, who stopped the shot by, I believe it was Stephen Tilley. Ilya Skvortsov kept it in at the blue line. That line coming together, each of the line mates of Ricky Carballo being credited with the assist on that goal. And just 9 seconds after, one of the worst calls of my career, because, well, I didn't even call it because I didn't see it happen because I was still trying to get the graphic up on Twitter from Carballo's goal. So while I was working on that, 9 seconds after the Wildcats scored, Stephen Ipre put the puck in the back of the net. And to be honest, folks, I didn't see it. It looked to me, based on the body language of Stephen Ipre, and I heard my counterpart, Amarillo's broadcaster, Dennis J. Puska, I heard the enthusiasm in his voice raised, so instantly I just glanced down. It looked like he was just finishing taking a wrist shot, Stephen Ipre. Nevertheless, that is Ipre's second goal in as many games in this building this season. Last time the Bulls were here, he was the one who got the ball rolling in the first minute and a half of the game, so he seems to like playing in this building in front of these fans. So 1-1 your score. Both teams kind of hashed things out, evenly played second half, I'd say, of that first period. The first half the first few minutes at least, certainly dominated by the Amarillo Bulls. Evan Moyes having to deal with a bit of a flurry of chances. 7-1, the Bulls jumped out to that edge in shots, so the Cats had to weather the storm a little bit. They have since evened things out. The shots now 12-10 in favor of Amarillo. So we'll see how Coach Curtali and Coach Nelson go about getting the guys going and coming back to get some work done in period number 2. They haven't had the luxury of going on the power play yet in this game. They've been shorthanded twice. 2 of their main defensemen, Seamus Donahue and Jonathan Waring. And those aren't just any players, folks. Those are the Wildcats' number 1 and 2 defensemen this season. So without them, it's no wonder they were outshot a pretty good chunk of that period. So going into period 2, the Wildcats are going to have to work on their discipline a little bit and try to put the pressure on the Amarillo defensemen on those forechecks, get them to turn, get them to twist, make life difficult for those defensemen, tire them out. That's how the Wildcats scored their first goal, by fatiguing Amarillo, getting them so winded that they couldn't clear the zone. And because of the Wildcats' keep, it was thrown on net. The goaltender couldn't deal with the big rebound, and Ricky Carballo stuffed it home to put the Cats on the board. So if you're going to win games against this Amarillo squad, grind them down, tire them out, make them make mistakes, make them take a penalty, get some chances with the extra man. We saw a good chance shorthanded, probably the best chance of the game the Wildcats did not score on was a 2-on-2, very fast developing rush between Ryan Burnett, Alexei Poikala. Bernie able to drive wide down the right side and center for Alexei Poikala, who, by the way, I'm still not sure how that puck didn't enter the net. I'll have to review the HD tape later on. But in the meantime, we're going to take one last break, step aside here from K. Yeager Coliseum. When we come back, we'll have some second period action for you. By the way, folks, special guest, Wildcats defenseman Ryan Orgel will be joining me for the second period. He'll be doing some color commentary, some analysis to the game. We're very excited to have him with us. So stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Thanks so much again for joining us. We hope you're enjoying your Friday night. Live from K. Yeager Coliseum in Wichita Falls, Texas, Alex Von Coitel, joined by Ryan Orgal, Wildcats defenseman. Happy to have you with us, Ryan. Thanks so much for joining us. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can. Alex, thanks for having me.
Excellent. Of course, we can hear you loud and clear. 1-1 the score after the first 20 minutes are now in the books here at K. Yeager Coliseum. The first period over. The lone Wildcats goal came off the stick of Ricky Carballo. Looked like just a really good keep in the offensive zone. Caused some chaos for the Amarillo defensemen and especially their goaltender who couldn't control that rebound. Bounced right to Carballo, who potted it home for his third goal of the season. Answered just 9 seconds later by the Amarillo Bulls. And Ogie, I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't even see it. I was pulling up the graphic to put onto Twitter from Ricky Carballo's goal. Didn't even see what happened from Amarillo's goal. So can you enlighten us a little bit?
Yes, one of the Amarillo forwards came down the right side, cut to the middle, and shot back across his body, top right. He would have been a lefty.
Okay.
Really good shot by him there. So.
It sounds like it was quite a snipe from Stephen Ipri, who's got 2 goals in as many games at K. Yeager Coliseum. Ipri, by the way, scored the first goal in the home opener just a little under a month ago, September 9th, when the Amarillo Bulls were last in this building. Ipri got the first goal just a minute and a half into the 2016-17 season for the Wildcats. So, Ogie, second period hockey just about underway. What do the Cats have to do to get that elusive 2-1 lead?
I think we had the upper hand last period. As long as they keep doing what they're doing, we should be able to get another one on the board. As long as we finish our chances and keep shooting the puck, we should win this period.
All right. Well, let's see if they hold true to your word. Second period hockey brought to you by American Classifieds underway here at K. Yeager. Alex Von Coitel, Ryan Orgal bringing you coverage of period number 2. The Wildcats get the puck deep into Amarillo territory and covering his ground in his own end. Quinn Wormuth has it now behind his own goal line. The Bulls will try to clear. Alexi Poikala has possession at the right point, lets a long wrist shot go that deflected up high and over the crossbar. Now Hayden Broomhead corrals the puck in his own zone. The Bulls looks like will be able to exit their own zone with no harm done. Jonathan Waring pursuing the dump. He gets to it. No icing was called. Ipri muddling things up. Bendorf has it along the left wing. He's joined by several teammates. Could be a 4-on-3 rush developing here. Bendorf stick handling his way across the blue line. Lost possession. Here come the Bulls on a counterattack. It's Walcom into the slot. Walcom lost possession of the puck. Looked like a Wildcat lost an edge. That was Jonathan Waring losing his footing down there. And George Mika picks it up at center and weaves his way back into his own zone. George Mika, Costa Licorezus, 2 of the North American Hockey League's top 3 scorers this season. They're both on the ice right now. Mika, 19, Licorezus, 18. He nearly gets the pass from Mika, does Licorezus, just couldn't make a play on it. As he goes into the corner working hard, he fetches it. Licorezus plays it low there for Mika, who's wrapped up by Waring, who throws it off the stick of Carballo. And the puck pinballs its way back out to center. Here comes Ilya Skvortsov. He's joined by Stephen Tilley. Skvortsov throws it back into the high slot, intercepted, and brought out down the left wing by Amarillo's Eric Cooley. It's been the counterpart to this top line. Long wrist shot off target there from Licorezus, wide on the glove side of Evan Moyes. How important has it been, Ogie, to have a guy like Evan Moyes in the back end who's played every single game since, except for the home opener this season against Amarillo. He's played every game since then, and for the most part, he's been such a rock, such an anchor in net for you guys. How important is it from a player's standpoint, playing in front of him as a defenseman, to know you've got him back there?
Very important. It's always nice to be able to trust your goalie and know that, whenever something doesn't quite go right out there, that he'll be able to have your back, and certainly Evan Moyes has done that for us thus far.
No question about it. He has been the anchor that has kept the Wildcats floating in the early going 10 games through this season, which now, by the way, if you're a statistics person, 1/6 of the way through the 2016-17 season. 10 games out of 60 have concluded. Here comes Kareem Del Ponte in his Wildcats debut. He's excited to play tonight?
Oh, yeah.
No, he's been wanting to for quite a while. We've talked about it. Really excited to see Kareem out there getting some ice time finally. It's a long time coming.
Yeah, he was ready to go before the game. He was pretty excited, and he looks really good tonight.
Wildcats have just iced the puck. They're going to have to deal with this defensive zone faceoff. Ogie, you are serving game number 3 of a 3-game suspension, which I'm sure to you, 3 games far too many. What's it been like watching the guys instead of playing?
It's been tough. It's hard being up here when, you obviously really want to get in the game, and, it is what it is. It happens. So now I can just kind of take a step back, see where our team's at, and yeah, try to go from there.
See the game from a different angle, perhaps. And the good news, the silver lining, Ogie, is the day you return will be one of the biggest, what we expect to be one of the biggest games of the season. Back the Blue Knight, turning and shooting it just wide. There was Jonathan Dagnall, just missed the net blocker side of Evan Moyes. Truscott will throw it back in. Anyways, folks, you probably heard me allude to it earlier, but October 15th, next Saturday night against the Shreveport Mudbugs. The first matchup, by the way, with the Mudbugs in franchise history. Wildcats Mudbugs next Saturday night, 7:05 p.m. The start time will be Back the Blue jersey night in support of local law enforcement. The Wildcats will be sporting specialty designed Back the Blue jerseys, which look pretty sweet, I might add.
Oh, yeah.
Fans are asked to wear their Back the Blue t-shirts, still available from the Roar store. Police officers, any cops tuning in out there, if you'd like to come to the game, admission for you is free, provided that you show your badge upon entering K. Yeager Coliseum. Also, $5 tickets for up to 4 of your closest family members. So come on out. Regula throws one between the skates of Evan Daniels as Cabinha will shovel it in behind the Amarillo goal line. Back to deal with it now is Jeff Solau, and he will swing it behind his own net. Kevin Fees in pursuit of it. Swings one just wide of the glove side of Nikita Babintsov as the puck bounces on Brendan Walcom rather. Here comes Stephen Ipri. Ipri trying to dangle past Alexei Poikala. Good luck with that. He's sent down to the ice. That was Seamus rather, and he takes a big punch. Looked like to the jaw, or to the cheek perhaps. Seamus Donahue went down after the whistle. Bit of a scrappy play there by Amarillo. Seamus Donahue got into his first fight last Sunday night. I'm sure you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty inspired fight, I'd say, from Seamus Donahue. The Wildcats would score pretty shortly thereafter. Recently named the captain of the team. Seamus dropped the mitts after the guys weren't playing too well. I think they went down 4-1 when he decided to go with Odessa's Riley Bichard. Has it now, and he will lay a nice backhand pass on the tape for Kevin Fees, who will dump it in. Gets past Amarillo captain Matt Nels. Fees will chase it down, aided by Jeff Skinner, who pries it loose and shoots from a very severe angle, hit the side of the net. Jeff Skinner in his Wildcats debut, back to the right point. Cypus returns it for him. Skinner tries to spin it in front, just missed the stick of Kevin Fees. Now picking up the loose puck will be Seamus Donahue, swiveling his way behind the net, centering off a stick and back out to the high slot. The net's been knocked off, and we get a whistle and a stoppage of play. Number 24 in white, Jeff Skinner, without a nameplate yet, but he is now on the Wildcats. Have you had the chance to meet him yet, Ogie?
Yeah, I've met Jeff. He practiced with us for a few days this week. I believe he came here from Brookings.
That's right.
Very skilled forward, really good hands.
But I spoke with Coach Curtali earlier about him. He's very excited about what Jeff Skinner can bring to the table. A young player, like you said, good hands, good skilled forward. Something maybe the Wildcats would like to work on right now is their offensive production. He's somebody that can certainly help in that department. Curtali hoping to see him eventually as a 40-point producer in this league. Dom Cypus has it in his own end. Pocket pick there by the forecheck of Charlie Singerhouse, the Amarillo veteran. Wildcats have just iced the puck. The last time the Cats and Bulls squared off, Kevin Fees got into his first fight in his Wildcats debut with veteran defender Jeff Solau. Fees definitely got the better end of Solau on that little scrap. And both of them were suspended the next game. Amarillo struggled without their star defenseman against the Odessa Jackalopes in their home opener the very next night, and were steamrolled by Odessa by, I believe it was a score very similar to last Sunday's game in which the Cats played Odessa. It was 6-2 or something along those lines. Odessa owes Kevin Fees a thank you card for taking out one of Amarillo's best defensemen. Face-off will now take place to the right of Evan Moyes in the Cat zone. Alexei Poikala against Amarillo's number 20, Alex Truscott. Amarillo emerging with it. Cole Lucier fanning on the wrist shot. Bendorf goes down. Here comes Ryan Burnett with a burst of speed through center ice. Looked like he was high stick. Nothing called. Poikala, no, there will be a penalty. Poikala throws one horizontally. Burnett first to the puck. Amarillo, for the first time in this game, will be guilty of a penalty. So the Wildcats will go to their first man advantage of the evening. Jonathan Dagnall heads to the sin bin for that high stick, which he tagged Ryan Burnett. up high. The Wildcats power play is brought to you by Starbright Cleaners. It has had its fair share of struggles this season, but it has also shown signs of promise. We'll see what the Cats can do. Expect to get some power play time when you get back on the ice?
Hope so.
Hope so. This unit, this top unit, which Stephen Tilley and Seamus Donahue man the points, seems to be pretty set in stone.
Yep.
We've seen them out there for just about every single time the Wildcats are on the power play. Both very skilled playmaking players from the blue line with great vision. So Carballo will shovel it back to Tilley. Right point finds an open Donahue, top of the left circle, who sidesteps George Mika, then tried to go cross ice there for Skvortsov. Play broken up, kept in the offensive zone. Skvortsov surveying his options. Mika can't clear it. Carballo will keep it. Carballo looking. Getting past one. Sets up Skvortsov, who drives it, and Babentsov made the save. Not sure he saw it, but he stopped his countryman there, Ilya Skvortsov, with a one-timer. Now here's Stephen Tilley, winding, firing, just missed out the short side post, and Carballo unable to pull off the wraparound courtesy of Matt Nels. The Bulls captain, Salau, another fellow veteran, will clear it down the ice. Moyes will leave it. The power play thus far, some pretty good looks.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Here's Ryan Burnett down the right side. Couldn't stick handle past Alex Truscott. Let me ask you this question, Ogie. Is Ryan Burnett the fastest skater you've ever played with?
Certainly one of. He's got wheels, and he uses them to his advantage. You know, every shift. You know, skating by defenders and you know, all over the ice pretty much.
Last season he was fast. He was certainly known as a fast guy. That's kind of what he was known as. But this season it's taken it to new heights. I mean, to the point where he's got to be considered one of the fastest skaters in the North American Hockey League. The Wildcats have just fired the puck into their own bench, by the way. So a whistle and a stoppage of play with 17 to go on the penalty against Jonathan Dagnall. But anyway, speaking of that speed factor brought on by Ryan Burnett, Alexei Poikla, probably one of the few skaters on this team, even in this league, who can keep up with Ryan Burnett, was fed a great pass by Burnett on a penalty kill with a point-blank shot Poikla had, and I'm going to be honest, Ogie, I didn't quite see how it didn't end up in the net. It looked to be a tap-in goal for Poiks. Did you see what happened there?
Yeah, I believe Amarillo's goaltender got a knob on it, which was, you know, obviously pretty lucky, but, you know, I think that goes in 9 times out of 10.
The knob of the stick, huh? Wow. That is certainly a fortunate break for the Amarillo Bulls. Thanks for clarifying that for me.
Yeah.
So the Bulls have just killed off their first penalty of the night. The Cats 0 for 1 on the Starbright Cleaners power play. Skvortsov inadvertently touched it the wrong direction. Now here comes George Mika. Left circle with a shot, and a glove snag is made by Evan Moyes. So we've got 12:22 showing on the clock. Still deadlocked in a 1-1 tie as we approach the halfway point of regulation time. 15-11 the shots in favor of the Amarillo Bulls through the first 28 minutes or so of this hockey game. Cats with just one shot in this second period, though I think that's a little bit misleading. So Stephen Ipri lines up to take the face-off to Evan Moyes' right. Demantis Sipus up for Isaac Kabinia. And Brendan Walcom knocked him off the puck. Babentsov able to stop a routine shot there against Ethan Daniels. Fact for you, Ogie. Brendan Walcom, number 4 in red for the Amarillo Bulls tonight. His father, Stephen Walcom, an ex-NHL referee.
Interesting.
Remember, one of the biggest games of all time he ever reffed. As a Blackhawks fan, I'm never going to forget this. It was 2013 Stanley Cup playoffs. I think it was the second round against the Detroit Red Wings. Stephen Walcom made a pretty controversial call in that game. Here comes Brendan Walcom, his son, now on the left side with a shot swallowed up by Moyes. Where's the puck? He pounces on it, makes the save, and play is called. 11.5 showing in period 2, 1-1 your score. But still remember the call that Stephen Walcom made after a goal was scored by Nicholas Hjalmarsson in the waning minutes of Game 7 against the Detroit Red Wings in the Western Conference semifinals. Nicholas Hjalmarsson scored. The goal was waved off because there was something going on behind the play between Brendan Saad and I believe it was Justin Abdulkader, somebody on Detroit. And the The goal was good. It should have stood, no question about it. That was probably not the best time to call a penalty as Moyes jumps on the loose puck as it pinballed its way into the slot. Moyes covered it up. But anyways, the goal was called off, and that was in the United Center, so the fans obviously were furious. We're not happy with the call one bit. Fortunately, for both the fans and for Stephen Walcom alike, the Blackhawks would go on to win that game in overtime anyways, so I'm sure Walcom, one of the most relieved guys in the building after that, didn't have to get escorted out of the United Center with a bag over his head. Long slap shot by Donahue, just off target of the left post. Here comes Amarillo. Costa Licarezus pushes one down the left wing. Donahue hooked a little bit by George Mika. Jonathan Waring swats it ahead, but not out. Kept alive. Muniz goes point to point. Long shot from Hall. Blockered away by Evan Moyes as it bounced just off the side of the net. Nearly bounced its way back in. And now Eric Cooley spinning with it. Far corner. Stops, stick handles his way around Jeff Skinner and throws it back to Hall. We'll go D-to-D now for Muniz, who has to get it past Donahue. He did. Licarezus for Cooley. Cooley nearly found Licarezus back door. Nice little try. Muniz long blast, blocked by DeFriest, picked up by Fees, and he will exit his own zone. Kevin Fees down the left wing. Chips it to himself nicely, catches up to it. He and Hall converge. Fees sized up by Hall. Muniz to pick up the garbage. He will try to wrap it around Canal with a good keep. He keeps the puck alive. So now a four-man puck scrum that's equally divided. Ends up being taken by Amarillo's number 7, Tyler Hall, who will bank it off the boards. Kept alive by Kareem Del Ponte. Goes into the slot. Carballo tries to spin it into Tilly's wheelhouse. Just missed his left skate. Carballo will try to wrap around. Tilly aiding him and down with the paddle down. And his glove down, making the save was Nikita Babentsev. Play has been blown dead, but try telling that to these players. What did you think of all those fights and all those scraps that took place on Sunday night against Odessa?
Oh, well, that was something else. I've never seen that, live at a game before. I mean, Seamus Donahue had gotten in a fight, and then shortly after there was a line brawl, 3 guys going.
Right.
I've never seen that before, but, sometimes games can get that way when they start to get out of hand, so.
Right, and though we didn't see it last year at all with the Wildcats, we did see it with the Odessa Jackalopes last year. Only the tables were turned. It was Odessa who was behind. It was in Lone Star at Nitex against the Brahmas. And Odessa sent out the likes of Connor Wood and Matthew Rippon, who was a scrappy player, we'll call him. Somebody else on that line that was sent out. It was clear what Coach Gatto intended to do was to just basically start a line brawl out there. And I believe Gatto was suspended for a couple of games, as were several of those players. Just an all-out frenzy. So it seems to be a trend with the Odessa Jackalopes. We go now to our second period media timeout, where we've just crossed the halfway point of this hockey game. Alex Von Coitel, Ryan Orgel bringing you live coverage from K. Yeager Coliseum of period number 2, brought to you by American Classifieds. We're tied up, 1-1 your score, 2013 the shots in favor of the Amarillo Bulls. What's it looking like the Cats are going to have to do to get that lead here after half of the second period has gone by?
I think they just got to, keep chipping pucks deep into Amarillo's zone, getting after it, get the puck to the net. There's never, you can never go wrong by shooting the puck because it creates havoc. There's always going to be a rebound, with players swarming the puck. So as long as we can just keep shooting the puck, we might be able to bury one here.
How the Wildcats scored their first goal, just by getting it on net and, like you said, creating havoc for Nikita Babentsev, shooting it off his pad. There was no chance he was going to stop Carballo as Ilya Skvortsov goes flying into Jeff Solau. Bounces off a Bull's skate and back out to center. Del Ponte misplayed the puck, but no harm done. Throws a nice outlet pass off the stick of Stephen Tilley into the Bulls zone. Amarillo able to start a quick breakout. Here come the Bulls on a 3-on-2. Long wrist shot, goes wide. Nitti fan on the second shot off the carom. Now working for it, Charlie Singerhouse gets it around Kareem Del Ponte, puts it into the far side corner. Foreman is there for Amarillo, the veteran Bull. Into the slot, Singerhouse's shot, blocked, and what is that down there? Is that the goaltender's stick?
And blocker.
And blocker. It's like a yard sale. He's missing everything.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm not sure how he would have made a save that was on his right side. What, would he punched it away with his hand?
I don't know. Probably would have slid over to the right and tried to stop it with his chest, but it would have been tough.
Yeah, I guess so. You do not want your, you definitely don't want your backbone goaltender making saves with his bare hand, that's for sure. What have you seen of, speaking of goaltenders, Austin Smith, who was just recently acquired from the Lone Star Brahmas by the Wildcats, on the team now. Played a little bit in that difficult game against the Odessa Jackalopes. Here's a shot off the pad of Evan Moyes, and the puck is sent wide. Sorry about that, folks. Just dealing with an issue with the camera we're having. So 8 minutes remain in period 2. The net's been knocked off. We get a stoppage of play. 1-1 remains the score. 21-13 the shots in favor of the Amarillo Bulls. So both teams making full-scale line changes here. The Wildcats send out C.J. Regula and Isaac Cabinia, Ethan Daniels, that forward line to take this defensive zone draw against Stephen Iprie's line of Amarillo. Iprie and Daniels line up. Pretty rare face-off for Ethan Daniels. Don't see him in the face-off circle too often. It's usually Regula or Cabinia. They've been sort of 50-50 as the puck bounces on net. Evan Moyes, no trouble for him. 8 minutes showing on the clock, remaining in period 2. The Bulls with a pretty hefty edge in shots now. They've started to pull away in that department, 22-13. So Stephen Iprie now against Ethan Daniels, who wins the faceoff. But Ogie, I believe we're just starting to touch on the subject of Austin Smith, who was just recently called up. Have you seen much from him so far?
Yeah, Austin, yeah, we acquired him not too long ago. I know he got the start last week in one of the games versus Odessa, and that was the game our team did not come ready to play by any means. So obviously it was a bit of a tough night for him, but other than that, he looks really sharp. Glad to have him here.
It was, we'll say, it was tough seeing him getting pulled in his Wildcats debut because none of the goals were really his fault by any means. It was Odessa's game from start to finish. There's no question about it. Tough game to make your debut, but Austin Smith, we're looking forward to seeing what he can bring to the table as Evan Moyes gloves a long wrist shot. Smith, by the way, had a very strong game with the Lone Star Brahmas. The one game he played in the regular season this year against the Minot Minotauros, he stopped 30 of 32 shots up at the showcase against Minot, who is 6-0 right now. So that's nothing to scoff at. They're a tough team, always are. Got a really great head coach. Last season, as a matter of fact, the Wildcats had their longest tenured player, Max Reisinger, was traded to Minot to give him some more playing time, give him a better chance at getting a college scholarship. He is now playing Division I college hockey at RPI. So good relations between the Wildcats and the Minot Minotauros always have been. I'm blanking on their coach's name right now for whatever reason. But, he and Coach LaFontaine were very close. Anyways, getting a little bit off track. Austin Smith had a very good game against Minot up at the showcase. Showing signs of promise, no question about that. In case those of you who missed the cause for that hooting and hollering, was because of a big check delivered by Alexei Poikala, who then takes a run at Truscott but just missed him with a shoulder. Has Alexei surprised you with his ability to deliver those big body checks?
Yeah, you know, I don't think I saw too much of it myself, you know, to start the year, but absolutely, the past 3-4 games, he's been hitting people really hard, and obviously clean, and
right.
It's just another, you know, great addition he's added to his game.
Right, and Alexei he's the opposite of a dirty player, any way you cut it. And last year it was actually pretty similar. You know, the Finnish style, the European style, certainly less physical than it is here in North America, so it probably took him a little bit to adjust.
Yeah.
The smaller ice surface, of course, and the different style of game, but after I'd say probably 20 or so games, maybe a little bit less last year, Alexei just started throwing the body left and right. And, I remember Coach LaFontaine one time taking him aside and sort of joking with him, saying, "Alexei, I said you can hit, you can't only hit." But he certainly loves to play the body. And like you said, it just adds a whole other dimension to his game. You don't really expect it from him because he's such a smooth skating, skilled player. He's a finesse player, but he can also hit.
He plays the complete game. He's in our zone helping out always in the corners, but obviously he brings the very strong offensive side too. He plays the game the right way.
Almost Pavel Datsuk like. We're not taking that a step too far, but seems to me, just from a broadcasting perspective, going on the road with you guys and just seeing the way he carries himself, just seems to me like a quiet leader on and off the ice, always doing the right thing, making the right plays, helping out in all three zones. A great player to look up to. One of the few veterans on this team. In 96, so in his final year of eligibility, so certainly Alexei will be looking to have a breakout season, and he's off to a heck of a good start this year. Second on the Wildcats in points with 9. For a while was right up there with Ryan Burnett in the league lead, but the two of them have since been caught by a couple of players on Amarillo. But of course, Alexei and so many other players on this team bring so much more to the table than just scoring points, that's for sure. So Roman Canal throws it up ice off the right half boards. Carballo and Del Ponte scrapping for it. Skvortsov had it pried away from him by Tyler Hall. Now here comes Walcom. Right side shovels it on net. Moyes with a chest save. And no further play. 5.5 showing in period 2. Still tied up 1-1. Excited for our first real road trip at the end of the month. We're going to be headed back to, headed out to the Texas Panhandle, out to Amarillo to play them at the bullpen for the first time this season.
Yes, I am. Obviously, it's going to be a bit of a shorter drive than Blaine, but yeah, I know we're playing them twice there, and I believe it is a pretty rowdy arena to play in, so I'm excited.
You hit the nail on the head. That's always a good atmosphere to go to. Kareem Del Ponte with a good keep at the blue line. Throws it low. Amarillo with some very passionate fans as well. Skvortsov turning and shooting it. It was blocked. Canal follows up. He scores! Roman Canal with his first goal as a Wildcat, and they don't come too much better than that. 2-1 your score.
Great shot there, top right by Roman, who stepped in there after Ilya's spin around shot was blocked. Was able to find the lane and score. Great shot.
That certainly was. Heck of a shot by the Wildcats' young defenseman, Roman Canal.
Well deserved, his first junior hockey goal.
Certainly very much well deserved. He's been, spoke with Wildcats assistant coach Josh Nelson about him not long ago. I think the referee and his two linesmen discussing this. Certainly no controversy from that. That is as clean as they come. But Coach Nelson told me Roman Canal, one of the most coachable players he's ever worked with. Always willing to change his game for the better and know what his weaknesses are, know what he has to work on, and then improve them. And the very next day, or even that day, he's addressed the problem and he's ready to go. A well-deserved goal for Roman Canal, his first as a Wildcat, his first in this league, his first of junior hockey. A Little Caesars product, Roman Canal, for the big goal for the Wildcats as Skvortsov rings one off the crossbar and out of play.
Yeah, I've had the pleasure of playing with Roman for most of the year so far. Yeah, great kid, really easy to play with. We're always working off one another, and yeah, it's just really, it's simple. It's simple
right
with him, and that makes everything easier on the back end.
Right, and that's right. You guys were defensive partners for a while, were you not?
That's correct.
Forward to getting you back in the lineup, Ogie, alongside Roman Canal. That's a really good defensive core the Wildcats have conjured up here with Seamus Donahue, Jonathan Waring, yourself, Roman Canal, Dementis Sipis, the veteran, Kareem Del Ponte, Blake Kriska, such a talented blue line. Daniel Goodwin, of course, up and down the lineup. Lots of talent from the back end. Players Coach Nelson loves to work with, I might add. So we're about 4.5 minutes remaining here in period 2. The Wildcats finally with that elusive 2-1 lead. Poikala tries to filter it through for Jonathan Bendorf. The play was broken up. Foreman working for it, and the Bulls looks like will be able to clear. So right down Main Street, here's a shot swallowed up by Moyes, who made a big save on Michael Foreman. No rebound conceded. Moyes now 24 of 25. He's having a heck of a game.
First time.
No, it would not. He's ever going to get tired? He's played so many games back to back. It's kind of a.
I don't think
guys are going to start calling him Iron Man pretty soon.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, he brings it every day. He's always usually one of the first ones on the ice. You know, last guy's off, always trying to get extra work in. You know, living with him at home, he's always excited to play.
Oh, that's right. Over at Don Perry's house, correct?
Correct.
What's that been like? Let's hear about your billet experience since coming to Wichita Falls.
It's been great so far. I can't complain. I'm living with Evan and 3 other players right now. It was definitely an adjustment at first because I had never you know, lived in a house like that with other roommates and everything. But we're making it work. Everything's perfect right now.
That's great to hear. I know, despite the fact there were so many kids in the Perry household to start, I was really surprised. Nobody was complaining about it. Everyone was happy, even though it's probably more crowded than you guys would have liked. All seem to be getting along just fine.
Yep, we were making it work, and you know.
So we're now just about done with period 2. A few more minutes remaining, just under 4 to go in period 2. 2-1 the score in favor of the Wildcats, whose goals have been scored by Ricky Carballo first, Roman Canal second. And, Jonathan Waring plays a big hit up on the other number 4, Brendan Walcom. Seamus Donahue. Daniels with a bit of a mishandle. Back out to center. Daniels puts up the body. Here's a 2-on-1. Regula with Cabinha. Regula tried to feed Cabinha. Bounced off the stick of Jeff Salau. Great defensive play made by a great defender. And Jeff Salau will throw it off the glass. Not out. Kept in beautifully by Seamus Donahue. Not sure if you saw or not, Ogie, on the social media sphere, but Seamus Donahue was given the North American Hockey League's number 6 play of the week. That beautiful goal that he scored last Saturday night against the Odessa Jackalopes.
Yeah, that was beautiful. We actually worked on it in practice the other day. He showed me what he did, and I tried it a few times. And yeah, that was just an unbelievable shot. And you know, he was really deceptive, so the goalie, you know, didn't know if he was going to pass, and he was able to sneak it in that top corner. It was a great shot.
Absolutely, and his deception and his smooth skating ability, that's what caused the goaltender to cheat over a little bit and open up that near side. And Donahue just sniped it into the top corner. Beautiful shot, beautiful play all around. Was there a bit of a problem with Seamus shooting left-handed and you shooting right? Was it a bit of an issue, him teaching you that from the opposite boards there?
No, not. I just tried on the other side of the ice, but
okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll see you pulling that off here pretty soon. So just under 3 to go, 2:59 showing on the clock in period 2. The Cats with a 2-1 lead. That was, boy, that goal scored by Seamus, one of the nicest I've seen by a defenseman at this level. Last year, the Wildcats' defense was talented, of course, not quite in the same way, though. I wouldn't say they were quite as mobile. Last year, the Wildcats had players like Jeff Baum, who had one of the hardest shots in juniors I've ever seen. I'm sure you've heard this story. He put a hole in the net with his slap shot.
Saw that video.
Here comes Cole Lucier, who was at the Wildcats' main camp up in Orchard Lake, Michigan over the offseason. He finds Nels at the point, who scores. Matt Nels, the Amarillo captain, ripped a heavy wrist shot over the glove of Evan Moyes. Brilliant shot by Matt Nels. He goes top corner, back-to-back defenseman goals, and Amarillo has tied it up at 2.
Looked like one of our players coughed it up in the middle of the ice, and I don't know. I don't think I don't think Evan quite saw that one. I think someone was screening him, so it wasn't much he could do there. But, still a great shot.
A shot by Matt Nels. Not sure if Moyes is a great goaltender, obviously, but not sure if he had seen it, he would have been able to stop that one. Skvortsov had his pocket picked nicely there by Amarillo's defenseman, Quinn Warmoth. Doubles back. He's got to hurry. Mika pushed off the puck. Ilya Skvortsov was hit with an elbow up high there. Clear penalty, and thankfully it's called. Amarillo back to the box. Eric Cooley is going to have a seat. The Cats on their second consecutive Starbright Cleaners power play, and we hope Ilya's okay after that hit.
Yeah, that hit was definitely straight to the head, so glad to see him get up.
Elbow, Ogie, it looked like one to me.
I think so. If not, definitely head contact.
Certainly. Skvortsov skated under his own power back to the Wildcats bench. He seems to be all right. Showing on the clock. We're tied up at 2 goals apiece. The Cats back to their second power play of the game, 0 for 1 on the Starbright Cleaners power play. Here's Tilly. Tilly for Jonathan Bendorf. Goes to the goal line there for Poikala. Poikala and Bendorf converge to do that little backdoor play to set up Ryan Burnett on the other side like they did at the showcase against Springfield. Here's Poikala now surveying. Up high, top of the umbrella. Tilly returns at Poikala. Right circle, couldn't filter the pass through. Good defensive play made by Matt Nels, the most recent Bulls goal scorer. Stephen Tilly, Seamus Donahue with a wrist shot, stopped by Nikita Babintsev. Had no rebound. Good movement.
Wildcats looking to put one in so we can end the period on a nice lead here going into the third.
Last time the Wildcats went into an intermission with the lead was on Saturday after period 2, after which Seamus Donahue scored that game-winning goal at the end of the second period. It wasn't on a power play, I don't think, but it was right around this time, I believe, in the second period, which Seamus actually made it 3-2, and the Cats would hold on to win that game. As a shot is turned on goal, save made, rebound, what a save by Babintsev on Alexei Poikala. That was a great opportunity. Poikala just unable to backhand it past Nikita Babintsev. What a save. I thought that was it.
It's a really good play. A lot of forwards all over try to do right off the face-off in the offensive zone. Maybe try to put it right, behind the center and get it to the other, far side of the net. That works a lot of the time. Almost did there.
Right. So now Ilya Skvortsov joins Poikala here on this power play. So Bendorf is off the ice. Poikala swivels his way to the top of the slot. Try to put it low. It's Ryan Burnett. Try to work it back to Ilya with a nice little shoulder shimmy. Gets past Jacob Nitschke and he looks. Skvortsov surveying. Stephen Tilly tees it up and shoots. Deflected up and over top of the net and off the netting and out of play. A minute 14 to go in the second. 2-2 your score. Cats really looking good on the power play tonight. It just seems to be just a matter of time before they put one in the back of the net. Ogie, thanks again so much for joining us, bud. We really appreciate your input. Always great from a fan's perspective to hear from the point of view of a player instead of just listening to me yap all the time.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alex, for having me. Yeah.
Here's a shot from Poikala, and he scores! Alexei Poikala with a power play goal. Ilya Skvortsov took the first shot. That's his second assist on the night. No, his third. The Cats now lead 3-2.
Yeah, there's that power play goal we were just talking about. Get the puck to the net. There's going to be rebounds, and we were able to put one in before the end of the period here. Now we got a nice lead going into the intermission.
It was a long time coming. Alexei Poikala has been robbed twice in this game. Finally puts one into the back of the net. Great to see that from Alexei. Great to see a well-deserved power play goal come through for the Wildcats. Now 1 for 2 on the Starbright Cleaners power play. Ilya Skvortsov putting on a clinic tonight. That's his third assist. Been waiting for him to have an offensive outbreak this season. He's got so much offensive potential, as we have all seen. He just hasn't quite gotten to that point where he just explodes in a game. Perhaps this is that night. So Poikala picks up a rolling puck. That's Ethan Daniels, rather. My apologies. He's hauled down to the ice. Jonathan Bendorf follows up. Another delayed penalty upcoming against Amarillo. Bendorf throws it beneath the goal line. Carballo pinned up there by Quinn Warmoth. Tries to tuck it in from the side of the net. Babinsev is down. He makes the save.
Looks like we'll be back on the power play here.
That will be our third consecutive power play. The Wildcats have just put one in. 38.3 seconds showing on the clock for the remainder of period 2. Going to need a quick one if they're to add an insurance goal before the second period comes to an end.
That's right. If not, we will still have about over a minute or so in the third period to try to get one then.
So Stephen Tilley has to hustle back. Half a minute to go in the second. The Cats back on the power play for the third time in this game, and the third consecutive time, I might add. All three of which have come in the second period. Still being outshot 26-21, but outscoring the Bulls 3-2. Puck kept alive at the right point between Tilley and Skvortsov. Not sure which of whom was able to keep it. Here's Tilley now for an open Donahue left circle. He's dangerous, but he couldn't toe drag his way past Matt Nels. Donahue goes tumbling down. 7 to go on the clock. Tilley backdoor, deflected just wide. Skvortsov rather threw it backdoor for Burnett, who deflected it wide. That's the second time in this game we've seen Burnett try to pull that off. Just hasn't worked yet. But when it does eventually, it seems inevitable. It'll be one of the best goals, undoubtedly a play of the week. The Wildcats 3-2 after the first 40 minutes are now in the books. The Cats have scored just recently a goal scored off the stick of Alexei Poikala, who finally put one home. The third time was indeed the charm for Alexei Poikala, who was robbed twice earlier in the game, first by the knob of Babinsev's stick, and then again on right off that face-off in which you were talking about, Ogie, in which he had 2 backhand shots right in front of the net. So Poikala finally able to come through, the monkey off his back. The Cats with a 3-2 lead heading into period 3. Ogie, anything you'd like to add onto the air before we let you get going here?
Quick shout out to Evan Moyes' parents, Kevin Fees' parents, and Ricky Carballo's parents. I'm sure they're all listening. Yeah, your sons say hi.
How about that? That's great to hear. I wasn't even aware those guys were tuning in. So thank you so much to Evan Moyes' parents and Kevin Fees' parents, a couple of Ohio players down here in Wichita Falls. Thanks so much for allowing your sons to come play here for the Wildcats, and thanks for tuning in as always. Also to the Carballo family tuning in from perhaps Texas, the only Texas native on the Wildcats, Ricky Carballo. Thanks so much, everyone. We really appreciate you tuning in on your Friday night, and thank you so much, Ryan Orgel. We really appreciate you coming in and helping to kill some time up here and bring your input to the broadcast. You did a tremendous job. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alex.
Of course. That's number 8 for the Wildcats, the defenseman Ryan Orgel, who has joined us on the air for period number 2. We're going to step aside here from K. Yeager Coliseum. When we come back, we'll recap the first 40 minutes of this hockey game for you, go over some scores from around the North American Hockey League, and so much more. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be back. All right, welcome back, Wildcats fans. Thank you so much for tuning in again on your Friday night. A Friday night full of hockey here in Wichita Falls. 3-2 your score in favor of the Wildcats. Alexei Poikla with that last goal on the power play. The Cats outscoring the Bulls 2-1 in that second period, despite being outshot by a pretty considerable margin in that second period. They were able to pull two out of their hats and go up by a score of 3-2. Here at K. Yeager Coliseum. About 9 minutes remaining before our third period, brought to you by American Classifieds, is brought your way. Alexei Poikla with that last goal again. Ilya Skvortsov with the assist on that goal and with an assist on the previous goal and the one before that. Skvortsov has 3 assists tonight. He's really been putting on an offensive clinic. Has the Russian center, Ilya Skvortsov, who now leads the Wildcats with 7 assists. I believe that's actually tied for the lead with Alexei Poikla. Roman Canal had his first goal as a Wildcat late in that second period. That was a BB, a slap shot off the stick of Roman Canal. A beautiful laser beam of a shot, picturesque shot by Roman Canal. First goals normally don't come as pretty as that one. That one did. Roman Canal with an absolute laser beam into the top right, upper 90 corner of the net. So Canal with a very well-deserved first goal as a Wichita Falls Wildcat. He was able to strike Twine pretty late in that second to give the Cats a 2-1 lead, which was answered again pretty quickly by Amarillo's captain Matt Nels with a snipe high on the glove side of Evan Moyes. At the 17:15 mark of period 2, Nels would tie it 2-2, and then a last goal in the last minute or so, 18:55, showing passed or through into the second period when Alexei Poikla buried that carom shot. I believe it was pinballed off a player's skate right to Alexei Poikla's stick, and he was able to just tuck it into the net. He is not going to miss from there. So 3-2 your score heading into period 3. Let's take a look at some other scores around the North American Hockey League tonight. The Aston Rebels, the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights, an East Division matchup. Aston has had a tremendous start to their season this year, and they continue, looks like, to have a good game tonight. 6-4 the score in favor of the Aston Rebels right now. Goals from just a whole whack of different players. Solomon, Patrick, Mans, Yakovlev, Garcia, and Estevez each with a goal for the Aston Rebels. 6 different players hoping to become 8-2 if they can just hold the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights to a 6-4 victory. That will be their 8th victory of the season for Aston. So they're having a good start to their year. The Austin Bruins playing the Brookings Blizzard, the team which just traded Jeff Skinner to the Wildcats, making his debut, number 24 in white tonight. Brookings trailing Austin at home by a score of 2-0, so the Bruins with a 2-0 lead. Richards with both of Austin's goals. Now to a South Division matchup. The second period has just concluded up in Topeka. The Ice the Roadrunners. Those two teams both ground in favor of the Corpus Christi Ice Rays. Cole Filler with a lone tally for Corpus Christi through the first game. The Odessa Jackalopes in time. 4-2 the score late in period 2 in favor of the Odessa Jackalopes. Ryan McKellar, Cooper Zeck, Trevor Zenas, and Zach Zeck with goals for the Odessa Jackalopes. As for Shreveport, Garrett Halford and Frankie Melton with the tallies for the Mudbugs. A couple of veterans in this league. Last year, Garrett Halford with the New Jersey Titans. Frankie Melton with the Bismarck Bobcats. Played against the Wildcats, by the way, in the Robertson Cup semifinals last season. So we'll be seeing a lot of those two. Undoubtedly, Garrett Halford, who considered coming to the Wildcats. I remember there was some discussion about picking him up from New Jersey. This season, he is elected to go to Shreveport, where apparently he's making a name for himself. Scored the first goal of the game against Odessa. Shreveport was actually up 2-0, and then 4 unanswered Jackalopes goals out in northwest Louisiana. McKellar's goal came late in the first, then Cooper Zeck, Trevor Zenas, and Zach Zeck each scoring within 5 minutes of each other, within a 5-minute span in Leighton as the second period, to give the Jacks a 4-2 lead over Shreveport. So we'll be seeing the Shreveport Mudbugs again next Saturday night Live from K. Yeager Coliseum, Wildcats Mudbugs, 7:05 p.m. The scheduled time for the puck drop here at the KYC. The Cats and the Bugs will be playing each other for the first time in franchise history. And it's also Back the Blue Night. Tonight you will not want to miss, that's for sure. The Minot Minotauros in Aberdeen. It's like the Wings threatening to take Minot's first defeat of the season. The Minotauros 6-0 right now. Aberdeen just 1-6, so they're hoping to get their season turned around. And it would be icing on the cake to give Minot their first loss, especially if they can do it in regulation, and more especially on home ice. Colton Rue and Raver, each Rue with 2 goals, Raver with 1 for Aberdeen. And former Topeka Roadrunners head coach Scott Langer's got to like what he's seeing tonight through the first 40 minutes up in South Dakota. The Janesville Jets taking on the Minnesota Magicians. Looks like that game's all deadlocked at 3 goals apiece. The onset of period number 3. The Johnstown Tomahawks taking on the Kenai River Brown Bears much later tonight, 7:30 p.m. Alaska time. Kenai has not won a game yet this season, 0-6-1. Tomahawks, quite the opposite, 7-1-1. Johnstown, they're having a great start to their year, one of the best teams in the league to start the 2016-17 campaign. Hoping to add another one to the win column tonight against Kenai, who struggled immensely last year, hoping to pick it up this year. Johnstown looking for its 8th win. Jump out to the league lead unless Aston can do it in the next couple of minutes. And finally, the New Jersey Titans scheduled to take on the defending Robertson Cup champion Fairbanks Ice Dogs, again 7:30 p.m. Alaska time. New Jersey Fairbanks. That wraps things up for our out-of-town scoreboard update. We're going to take one last short break before we bring you third period action. The Amarillo Bulls have hit the ice to get a little bit warmed up here to start period 3. The Cats, we have yet to see them, but make no mistake about it, they'll be out there shortly, and we'll be back shortly. Stay tuned, everyone. All right, you have heard the exuberant pep talk from our PA announcer, Charles Campbell. You know what that means. Third period hockey underway in Wichita Falls. The Cats with a 3-2 lead and some power play time to work with. Their Starbright Cleaners power play now 1 for 2 on the night. We've seen a bit of a mix-up in the personnel selected for this power play unit. Instead of Jonathan Bendorf, it's Ilya Skvortsov, it looks like, on this number 1 unit. So some swapping. Bendorf, we'll see if we see him on the second unit for this man advantage if they get a shot here. Alexei Poiko will carry through center. Stick handling it over the Amarillo blue line, trying to center for Burnett. His pass broken up by Matt Nels, and he will skate it out down the right side and blast it wide of the net. Goes off the corner glass on the far side in the Cat zone. The third period of Wildcats hockey is brought to you by American Classifieds. You're looking at Ilya Skvortsov on your screen. Across the blue line, and to stick handle and split the Amarillo defense. He will fly one back to the right point. Seamus Donahue will keep it. Tees it up. Sends it D-to-D for Stephen Tilley at the left point. Threw it in the direction of Alexei Poikala. Puck battle ensues in the near side corner. Poikala goes up high for Seamus Donahue. Touch pass for Tilley. Tees it up, slaps it, knuckleballs its way into the slot. Amarillo can't clear. Donahue down low. One-time drive by Skvortsov, smothered up at the side of the net by his fellow Russian, Nikita Babintsev, who has just made his 18th save of the night. Hope you're enjoying the high-definition broadcast on fasthockey.com, everyone. Certainly looks good from here. So if you've got any comments or any feedback, please, I'd love to hear it. Go ahead and shoot the Wildcats Twitter page at WF Wildcats. Shoot us a message. Let us know what you think of the HD stream thus far. I know we're having problems. Bear that in mind. Go ahead and keep that part of the discussion aside because it's completely irrelevant to the HD broadcast. Again, they're just two separate entities that happen to coincide with one another, but the internet problems and the stream going down from time to time has nothing to do with the HD broadcast. So let's just hear your thoughts on just the look of it all. Love to hear it. Donahue with a long shot, redirected wide by Isaac Cabina in front of the net. Puck stays in play. The Bulls back to even strength, 5-on-5. Regula can't keep it. Donahue takes a man down. Amarillo still with it. Mika at center. He will clear it in. The Bulls complete a fire wagon line change. 5 fresh bodies. The Bulls change on the fly. The Cats will probably do the same here soon. Isaac Cabina stick handling past Hayden Broomhead, then finds Regula, who couldn't squeeze his way past Matt Nels. Play read well defensively by the Bulls captain. And now here comes Eric Cooley. Throws one in down the left wing. Hayden Broomhead in to get it. Knocked off the puck. Daniels tried to reverse it and then picks off the pass from Broomhead. Stops behind his own net. Pushes it up ice, and now here comes Kareem Del Ponte. The Swiss defenseman clears it into the right side corner and goes in to play it himself. Takes Jeff Solo down. Del Ponte has it, lost it to Brendan Walcom. And to help him out, Kevin Fees, who throws one towards the net. Didn't get all the way through. Fees follows up and shoots again, blocked. Canal left point, keeps it with his glove. Nice play. Batted it down to his stick. Cooley will throw it across his own ice. And the Amarillo Bulls are going to be able to clear here. Bounces down the ice. Moyes elects to play it. Comes Bobby DeFriest. Shovels one into the left side corner in the Bulls zone. 3 minutes have gone by. 3-2 remains your score in period 3. 3-2 in favor of the Cats. Lucier lost it to Jeff Skinner. DeFriest is hooked by Lucier. Nothing will be called. The Bulls dusting off the puck in behind their own goal line. Haul out for Lucier. Threw it off friendly skate. Belonged to Jonathan Dagnall. Cross ice pass intended for Fees, picked off by Lucier with a shot, ripped it wide to the glove side of Evan Moyes, who swats it into the corner after it caromed its way off the end boards right back into his paraphernalia. And now they battle for it. Blake Kriska will try to clear it out, aided by Jeff Skinner. He's able to clear it. Carballo threw one off of Matt Nels. Launched the puck the other direction. Hope Matt Nels is okay. Looked like he might have taken a puck to the face there as he skates back to the Bulls bench. Got a Twitter message from Tom in Findlay, assuming that's Kevin Fees' relative. He's being a native of Findlay, Ohio. So thanks for the feedback, Tom. And the picture looks good. The camera's a little bit shaky. That's to be expected. Again, with the setup, we couldn't get the camera to output from 2. It was a sharp angle shot stopped by Babintsev. We couldn't quite figure out how to get the camera to stream onto the encoder here and the TV. Our cameraman, Mike Trebbing, who does a tremendous job for us, he couldn't. We couldn't get it figured out so that he could get his TV picture coming in and a fast hockey picture coming in at the same time. Obviously, we had to choose one or the other, and it's a clear choice. We need a fast hockey picture, so Mike is just having to deal without the TV to look at. So without that, it's been a little bit difficult on him. So kudos to Mike for putting up with it, even though it's a lot more difficult for him to track the puck, and the cord reaching down to the camera, it's also shorter than he's used to, so he's had to readjust where he's sitting and holding the camera from, so he's had to make some changes. We expected the camera work to be a little bit shakier tonight than usual, but thanks for your feedback, Tom, and thanks for bearing with us as Stephen Tilley is cross-checked behind his own net. George Mika starts the breakout for the Bulls on a 3-on-2. Eric Cooley, right side into the slot, stick handling nicely. Costa Lucarezus lost it. Here come the Cats. Ilya Skvortsov through the neutral zone. Gains the blue line, lost it, and shoveled it into the left side corner. Carballo is there to fetch it. Carballo on his off wing, in for Tilley below the goal line. Lost it to Jeff Solo. Solo out to Costa Lucarezus, who dances his way in. Lost it to Roman Canal with a good stick check. Lucarezus throws it into the right side corner. Trying to spin it in front there was Hayden Broomhead. No luck. Del Ponte had other ideas. And the Cats have cleared it. Off to the races now is Poikala. He's joined by Bendorf. Poikala had his stick check nicely there by Matt Nels. Quinn Wormuth, rather. Now trying to stuff it in there was Bendorf. Didn't see any daylight. Poikala has it behind the Bulls' net. Looking. Feeding it up high. Kareem Del Ponte bobbles it at the blue line. He's got to hurry. Del Ponte diving poke check. Broke it up there from Brendan Walcom, who would have had a breakaway. Tough bobble there at the point from Kareem Del Ponte, but an excellent recovery and a smart diving poke check made by the Swiss defenseman playing in his Wildcats debut. Puck deflected into the offensive zone by Alexei Poikala. Burnett is there. He finds Poikala along the half boards. Had to spin away from a couple of Bulls. Picking up the garbage is Bendorf with a wrist shot, and the goaltender made the save. The puck was loose. The referee didn't blow the whistle, and Babintsev thought he had it covered. He did not. Fortunate break for the Bulls as they escape with no harm done. Kriska now out to the right side. Burnett at the red line throws it diagonally in for Poikala, who was caught on a delayed offside. So the whistle blows. We're 6 minutes deep into the third period. No score in this third period. 3-2 your score from the first 46 minutes of this hockey game. Wildcats with a 1-goal lead. Hope everyone out there is having a great Friday night. Thanks so much for joining us. I will say this, as a diehard Cubs fan, a Chicago native myself, tough to not be watching them right now. Haven't even been able to keep track, trying to get everything sorted out here. I'll have to see. Hopefully, part of the game's still going on when I get home after this one. Be able to catch the last couple of innings if I'm lucky. So Evan Moyes will cover up that long shot from center ice. The face-off now to Moyes' right. Won by C.J. Regula. Now here's Ethan Daniels. Throwing up the middle of the ice. Cabinia joined by Regula on the rush. Cabinia stymied there by Crowley. Mika will go to his defenseman. The puck's been outletted past the blue line. Mika now dropping it off inadvertently there. Nearly gave it away to Isaac Cabinia, who still pressures Mika. Made a nice heads-up play to find Eric Cooley, who flies his way across the Wildcats' blue line, defended by Dom Sipis every step of the way. Sipis takes it off his stick like taking candy from a baby, and here he comes. A long stride, 6'5" Lithuanian defenseman. Sipis threw it off the right skate of Kevin Fees. Doesn't want to give up on the puck. Pries it loose from Matt Nels. He's able to bank it out to center. Here come the Bulls. Charlie Singerhouse has to hurry. Jonathan Waring beat him to the puck. Played below the Wildcats' goal line. Dom Sipis has it there near his own net. He spins away from the pressure coming from Michael Foreman, then throws it out to the right side point. C.J. Regula gains the red line and flies it in. 12:48 showing on the clock, remaining in period 3. The Cats with a 3-2 lead in this hockey game. Goals scored by Poikala. Most recently, also by Roman Canal in that second period, and by Ricky Carballo in the first period. Like a Bulls player might have been tripped up there. Nothing has been called. Donahue scales the wall and tries to keep the play going. He's able to do so. Michael Foreman looking to clear. Gets it as far as Singer House. He's able to throw it diagonally into the Waring corner as he's there to retrieve it. Waring pinballs one up and off the half-board glass. Puck flown back in behind the Cats' goal line by Carson Moniz. Falls able to clear it. Tyler Hall with a good dangle there. Good sidestep in the neutral zone. Just gained the Wildcats' blue line. Here's an opportunity. Good diving play made by Seamus Donahue to break up the pass. Two Amarillo Bulls were swarming the Wildcats' zone. Evan Moyes would have had a headache to deal with had Donahue not made that incredible defensive play. 11:40 to go in the third. Cats still protecting a delicate one-goal lead. Stephen Tilley throws one in the direction of Donahue, who has to pursue it. And we've got a Bulls player down right in front of the Wildcats penalty box. Didn't quite see what happened on that play. This has been a lot more clean of a game, I would say, compared to last Sunday night's game. If you were with us for that one, 5 fights against the Odessa Jackalopes. From the Wildcat side, Seamus Donahue dropped the gloves first. That was registered as an official fight, while some were not. But Ethan Daniels, Ricky Carballo, and Roman Canal each getting into some physical altercations all at once, I might add. Probably should have gone down as 3 fights. Roman Canals was completely ignored, whereas Carballo was just given I believe a 10-minute unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Make no mistake about it, though, he was fighting. And then Daniel Goodwin in the third period. Stephen Tilley steals it, squirts off, shoots, missed high. And out of play. Is slapped in from center ice by Roman Canal. Cooley and Mika both fail to control it, so Mika has to get the outlet pass there from Solo. Ryan Burnett had it jostled free. Mika up and over the Wildcats blue line. Here comes Lucarezu centering. Cooley's in, but he missed the net. Burnett defending Cooley every step of the way. Now here comes Kareem Del Ponte down the right side. Advanced it as far as Solo, who will throw it back out to the Wildcats logo in the neutral zone. Canal gloves it down to his stick. Cooley pressuring him. The Bulls able to steal the puck. Here's Ryan Burnett off the intercept, who threw one right in front of the Bulls bench. Stays in play. Bendorf guns it down, catches up to it. Jonathan Bendorf for the trailer. Sipus looking. One-time drive from a severe angle. Missed the net coming off the stick of Alexei Poikala. Now Kriska for Jonathan Bendorf. Poikala is still open. Sipus, does he see him? No, he shoots, and it was deflected out of the ice, off the netting, and out of play. We've crossed the halfway point of period 3. 9:56 showing on the clock in the third period. 3-2 the score. There's been no score in this third. The Cats with a 3-2 edge. We've got Coach Bendorf tuning in on Twitter.com. Says the picture is great if the feed doesn't cut out. Again, everyone, we apologize for the feed cutting in and out. That has been an issue. We're well aware of it. Going to have somebody from Pinnacle come in. That's got nothing to do with the HD. It's simply on the Ethernet cable here. We've been having a problem with the Ethernet cable. Well, it's something, I'm doing my best explaining it. It was tested by both a laptop from the gentleman from Pinnacle who was here earlier this week, who tested it with his own laptop, tested the Ethernet cable with his own box, and everything passed. So there appeared to be nothing wrong with the cord, but for whatever reason, when you plugged it into this encoder, this new HD encoder, it wasn't picking it up. So gentleman from Pinnacle, I was helping him find his way around this very large building here, and he was recalibrating some of the wires inside the Ethernet cable and replacing some of the heads on them on each end, and got it to recognize it, but now every once in a while it'll just randomly shut down and come right back up after a few seconds. It's a weird issue. I have no idea what's causing it now, but we will get to the bottom of it, I promise. Hopefully by Saturday night, next Saturday night, and we can all enjoy a interruption-free high-definition broadcast on fasthockey.com. And again, We apologize, everyone, for the inconvenience. Just ask Roger Burnett. I'm sure he's tuning in out there. There's going to be some problems. It's all just the nature of the North American Hockey League, and broadcasting at this level has pretty much a staff of one when it comes to broadcasting. There's going to be some issues from time to time. So Moyes turned aside a backhand shot. The Cats able to exit their own zone. Skvortsov nearly got the breakout pass from Carballo, who follows up now. Punches it past one of the Amarillo defenders, then throws it, trying to get it rink wide for Skvortsov. Puck bounces behind the net. Skvortsov centers right side for Carballo, and it eventually pinballs its way back to the left point. Donahue tried to slap it across the ice, hoping to get it to Skvortsov. Went off an Amarillo stick. The Bulls are gassed here. See if the Cats can take advantage against some winded opponents. Tyler Hall with an opportunity to clear, overskated the puck, threw it off the glass. Donahue tried to keep it, and he did. And Skvortsov and Carballo keep possession in the offensive end. Skvortsov's backhand pass just fooled Donahue there as he resets and sends it up ice now for Waring. Good crisp touch pass for Skvortsov, whose laser of a shot is gloved and held by Nikita Babintsev, who's now robbed his countrymen several times in this game. Skvortsov with 3 assists in this game, by the way, folks. He is just tearing it up all over the ice. He's been one heck of a teammate tonight, helping give some guys their first goals as a Wildcat, i.e. Roman Canal, and a couple more guys. Ricky Carballo with his 3rd goal as a Wildcat, assisted, of course, by Skvortsov, and Alexei Poikala with his umpteenth goal as a Wildcat, assisted again by Skvortsov. So he's got assists on all 3 Wildcats' goals. I believe primary assists, if I'm not mistaken, on all 3 goals the Cats have scored. Isaac Kabinia. Past Hayden Broomhead. The pass between the skates and the stick of Ethan Daniels couldn't do much with it. Matt Nils backhands one off the half boards and out to center. Here comes Hayden Broomhead with a slap shot. Fooled Moyes a little bit. Didn't look like it was that tough of a shot. I don't think Moyes saw it till the last second. Was able to make the chest save regardless, and he covers up the rebound. Tom and Finley. Yes, I did see Roman's fight, though not quite live. There were so many fights going on at once as Moyes turns around and kicks out the left pad to make a save. But no, there were 2 other fights going on at once, and I saw that there were 2 players in the net. I believe it was the Wildcats net as Moyes turns around, a big, challenging rebound shot there. Crisis averted there by Evan Moyes. Now here comes Bendorf on the left side, joined by Burnett. Burnett gets the pass, he shoots, and he missed. Well, what a pass that was from Jonathan Bendorf. That looked to be a goal. Burnett just couldn't tuck it home. We won't say that too often. Poikala throws one horizontally for Ryan Burnett, who throws one just past the outstretched stick of Jonathan Bendorf. What a pass that would have been. But anyways, Roman Canal was in that scrap where all 3 players, or 6 players I should say, were fighting at once, and I just couldn't make out who that was. Couldn't see a number, couldn't see a nameplate. The referee was in the way, and the fight was taking place virtually inside the net. And I was doing everything I could to identify either one of those 2 players, and just couldn't do it. And I'm not sure the ref saw it either because, well, Canal could have kept playing as Roman's father pointed out to me. He could have kept playing the rest of that game or the rest of that period, and nobody probably would have said anything. Roman wasn't given any sort of penalty of any kind. A game like that, it's probably a lot easier to get away with stuff like that. So Jeff Skinner, left side. Going to leave it for Kevin Fees. Goes all the way back to the point for Kriska. Blake Kriska, Tri-City Storm prospect. Skinner fed it across for a shot taken by Burnett. That was blocked. Now Kevin Fees, the ex-Little Caesars captain. Pinned up behind the Amarillo goal with 6.5 showing on the clock in period 3. The Cats with a 3-2 lead. Jeff Skinner, aided by Fees, digs the puck loose, then tries to spin it in front for Bobby DeFries, who is tied up and handcuffed. Long slap shot deflected, and that would have been a high stick had it gone in. The goal wouldn't have counted, but I think play is continuing. Maybe that wouldn't have been. The Cats are allowed to keep playing here. Jeff Skinner gets the pass behind the opposing net there from Dom Sipis. All the way through. Kriska drive. Blocked by the maze of bodies out in front. The Bulls are exhausted. Kriska threw it across off the pad, and the Bulls come back down the ice on a 2-on-1. Kriska hustles back to break up the passing lane. Dom Sipis knocks it off the stick of Jonathan Dagnall. And nothing has come of that opportunity for Amarillo. Now here comes Bobby DeFriest trying to split the defense. He's hauled down to the ice. He goes tumbling, and Babintsev is able to cover up the puck. Just under 6 to go in this third period. The Cats leading 3-2 despite being outshot, but they have pretty much sealed that margin, 31-29 in favor of Amarillo. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. We're happy to have you with us. Face off now to Babintsev's left. Matt Nels has to throw it past Carballo with a good stick in the high slot, keeps it alive. Foreman will try to clear. Donahue takes a jab at it. Looked like he got high sticked by Charlie Singerhouse. Nothing called. Crowley wrapping up Carballo. Waring waiting for the rush, and here come the Bulls. Crowley nearly got the pass, just beyond his reach. Puck is left off from Tilly for Skvortsov, who is sprung down the left wing. Taking it wide on Matt Nels, then squeezes past a second check. Skvortsov just skating effortlessly all over the attacking zone, but the pass nearly got all the way through to Waring. Just hit an Amarillo, looked like part of his blazer there. And it's been cleared below the Cats' goal line. Moyes touches it up for Jonathan Waring. Ex-roller hockey star Jonathan Waring. Oh, and Kareem Del Ponte is down, folks. That did not look or sound good. We hope Del Ponte is okay. He's very slow to get up over there, right in front of the American Classifieds logo. Kareem Del Ponte just now getting back onto his skates. And he skates back to the Wildcats bench. Kareem Del Ponte in his Wildcats debut, sporting the number 27. Very special night for Kareem. Hope his parents or some family members are tuning in. Although, imagine in Switzerland it's got to be, 3, 4 in the morning. It might be difficult. So what you've just heard and the round of applause you're hearing now is because our public address announcer, Charles Campbell, has just announced the official retirement of Paul Baxter from the Wichita Falls Wildcats. He will be moving to Nashville on Saturday. So we wish the best for Paul Baxter, who has been the general manager of the Wildcats for the last 2 seasons when John LaFontaine was the coach. Before LaFontaine was brought in, Baxter was the coach for 3 years. He was a GM of the year, back-to-back years for the Wildcats. Here's CJ Regula. And also improved the Wildcats' record in every season that he was a head coach for the team. So we wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors. Paul Baxter, moving to Nashville to be closer to his family. The Amarillo Bulls have just iced the puck. I'll give a special shout out of Paul Baxter to Paul Baxter myself. He was the one who hired me, so he was the one who really gave me the shot. Any success I might have ultimately will be owed to Paul Baxter. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, Paul, for giving me the opportunity to broadcast for the Wildcats. I've enjoyed every second of it. Fun way to make a living. Burnett is crunched up by Walcom, but he gets the puck deep. He took the hit to make the play. Lucier plays it low for Truscott behind his own net. Trying to do some damage control down there was Quinn Warmuth, and we get a stoppage of play. I think one of the pegs came off. The Cats have really played well in this third period. They're not giving Amarillo much of anything. Their breakouts have been slowed down. Before, Amarillo was sort of just exiting out of their own zone like it was nothing, just getting out really quickly, making fast breakout passes. And the Wildcats have really picked up their forecheck and picked up their sustained pressure in the offensive zone. They're not giving Amarillo much of a chance to get out. They're getting them tired here. You can tell Amarillo is being outskated right now, certainly. Jeff Skinner lost an edge. Truscott brought him down to the ice. DeFries finishes his check off, but Hall's able to clear. Just past his own blue line, Donahue in the neutral zone. Batting it down to the ice there was Jeff Skinner, no high stick. Turning up ice now, here comes Skinner. Down the right wing, stick handling past one. Beautiful move, fetches the puck in the corner. Tries to center, went off a Bulls skate. Kevin Fees finishes his check. Tyler Hall, meanwhile, up through the middle of the ice. Jonathan Dagnall hauled down by Bobby DeFriest, and we get a stoppage of play. Either a hand pass or an offside, couldn't quite tell which. Just under 3 minutes showing in this third period. Puck's now in the neutral zone. Cooley will throw it in. 2.5 to go in the third. The Cats protecting a 1-goal lead, 3-2 your score. Sportov with 3 assists on the night. Carballo with a goal. Canal with his first goal as a Wildcat. Here's an opportunity. Mika fans on the shot. Boy, that was close. A good chance for the Bulls. And that's not the guy you want to leave open in George Mika. Got to tell you, folks, I thought that puck was going to be in the back of the Wildcats' net. And Alexei Poikla with the third Wildcats goal. So Tilly has it along the half boards. We'll try to punch it on back. Didn't work out. Carballo spinning, shooting it just wide of the right post. And now Tilly looks like is brought down behind the Bulls goal. Fans here wanting a penalty, but none will be called. George Mika down the right wing side into the attacking zone. A little curl and drag and a shot. That was well off target. Waring threw it off an opposing skate. Bounces to Salo. He shoots, blocked by the maze of Wildcats in front of their own goal. Sportov tried to one-hand jab it past Stephen Ipri. That one didn't work out, but Waring clears as far as the red line, no further. Backhanded back into the right side corner in the Cats' end. Roman Canal is there. Canal will reverse it now for Jonathan Waring, who will slam it off the half boards. Past the stick of Warmouth. Not that of Solau, who will throw it back out to center. The Bulls in the Wildcats zone now. Walcom storming the goal line. Poikla beat him to the puck. Seamus Donahue will reverse a nice backhand pass up the wall. The Cats are able to clear it. The last minute of play is brought to you by La Quinta Inn and Suites. Waring stick handles in. His shot was blocked. Now Waring goes back out to the point to play it. You love to see this. The Wildcats are not parking the bus here. They're still attacking. They want to put this game away now. 1 minute remains in this third period. Ethan Daniels into the left side corner. Spins it below the goal line. Poikla centers. Daniels' shot just missed the left post. 42 seconds to go. Poikla, Daniels battling for it. The Wildcats trying to get their 5th win of the season and bounce back after one of the worst losses they've had in years last Sunday night. CJ Regula has it in the left circle, turning and shooting it. Smothering it up there is Nikita Babinsav. The Bulls with less than half a minute to go. We'll see if Matt Nicholson uses his timeout here. I don't believe he's already done so. He's still got that in his back pocket if I'm not mistaken, but it doesn't look like either coach is going to use their timeout here. Tonight's player of the game will be Seamus Donahue. He will be signing autographs of his player of the game cards down outside the skate shop after the game is over. Hopefully some of the folks here at K. Yeager Coliseum, some of the fine folks can get the chance to go and meet the nice young man, Seamus Donahue. Recently appointed captain of the Wildcats. To go in the period. Amarillo must score at least one in that time frame. Here comes Cooley, who was sprung, lost possession of the puck in the neutral zone. It's carried back in down the left wing side off the intercept. Carballo takes a shot at the empty net, but he misses. Icing will be called. One last opportunity here for Amarillo. The clock has just wound down. I think the players on Amarillo want this. Hold on a second, folks. This game is not going to be over. This game is not over. The clock kept on running, and the referee not happy that the clock wasn't stopped because clearly it was an icing call. and the Wildcats timekeeper kept the clock running, so they're going to reset this, add a few seconds onto the clock, no question about it. That's the right call. Amarillo will get one last shot, 3.5 showing on the clock in period 3. 3.5 seconds, they set up an aggressive face-off, and now Matt Nicholson uses his timeout. So there's going to, we'll see if Amarillo's got any magic left. They're certainly going to have to pull something out of their sleeve. Nothing really short of miraculous out of their sleeve if they're going to tie this game. 3-2 the score. A tenuous lead, albeit, but just 3.5 seconds to go, so Amarillo really going to have to get something quick to tie it up. The shot's just about deadlocked, 31-30 favoring Amarillo. There you see Tony Curtali going over some strategy with his troops on the bench, letting them know what to do if they win the face-off, what to do if they lose it. We'll see which unit Curtali decides to put out there. Actually, no, he won't be able to decide because the Cats have just iced it. Silly me, it's been a long week. It will be Poikla, Skvortsov, Carballo, Waring, and Seamus Donahue. No surprises. So as you can see, the Bulls in a very aggressive face-off formation. There's nobody behind the centerman. I'm not sure if I like this idea. Who the heck is the centerman going to try to win the puck to? Looks like maybe Charlie Singerhouse. He's lined up with the one-time option right next to him, so clearly the center is going to try to get it to Singerhouse right here. He does, but it hops over Singerhouse's stick, and that's going to do it. The Wildcats have won the game, 3-2 the final. You can hear the horn. The folks are celebrating. They're loving every minute of it here tonight. We hope you did as well, folks, tuning in on FastHockey.com and on YouTube. We know we had some problems out there on Fast Hockey. Thanks so much for bearing with us, despite the problems we're having with the internet cutting in and out. Again, we hope to have that addressed for next Saturday night's game against the Shreveport Mudbugs on Back the Blue night. Other than that, the feedback that we have gotten has been all positive. The picture looked great. I was able to preview it here from the encoder and from the monitor here. It looks great. But enough about the broadcast. Let's talk about the game. The Wildcats with a big win here tonight, getting their 5th win of the season, now improving to 5-4-2 in the standings, and actually passing up the Amarillo Bulls and the Lone Star Brahmas for the moment. So technically the Wildcats in first place, though every other team in the league has games in hand. The Wildcats have played more games than any other team in the NAHL this season, but first place nonetheless. So the Cats, now with 12 points in the South Division standings, lead both Lone Star and Amarillo, who are each 1 point behind the Wildcats in the standings. And now we await the presentation of our 3 stars of the game, brought to you by Kona Ice. The players skate off. The 3rd star of tonight's game shouldn't come as too much of a surprise. We're going to hold off on spoiling the moment till Debbie Fleetwood, our business director, ice programs coordinator, you name it. She's going to be giving out the stars presented by our sponsors to the players down there who are lining up, getting ready to skate out on the ice one last time before calling it quits here tonight on Friday night. We hope you all enjoyed the game. 3-2 the final. The goals tonight scored by Ricky Carballo of the Wildcats first, then Stephen Ipri would respond for Amarillo 9 seconds after Carballo put it in the back of the net. Roman Canal would get his first Wildcat goal at the 14:47 mark of period 2 with a slap shot high on the glove side of Nikita Babintsev. Matt Nels would respond. Alexei Poikla would get a power play goal late in the second period. Skvortsov with 3 assists, an assist on every single Cats goal. And, pretty similar to what happened on last Saturday night's game, in which the Cats would score a late goal in the second period rather, to go up 3-2 and then hold on to that lead throughout the entire third period. They outskated and they outplayed Amarillo in the final 20 minutes tonight. So, we're all sort of delayed here. I'm not sure what they're waiting for down there, so I'm not going to try to stall you guys here forever. We'll just get on with it. Tonight's number 3 star of the game, Evan Moyes, I thought had a really, really strong night in net. If he did not play as well as he did, I don't think this is a 3-2 hockey game. I think this is a high-scoring hockey game. Evan Moyes with a really good night between the pipes for the Wildcats. I think both goaltenders were pretty solid. Moyes, however, I thought had the edge in net over Nikita Babintsev tonight, was one of the big reasons the Cats will be walking away with 2 points out of this game. Evan Moyes stopping 29 of a possible 31 Amarillo shots, a lot of which were very challenging shots to save. Moyes is tonight's Kona Ice number 3 star of the game. And here you see him. Moyes, the Wildcats' backbone goaltender, will now skate off the KYC ice for the last time tonight, unless he decides to go out for an open skate with some of the fans afterwards. And this should come as no surprise either, folks. If you're watching on fasthockey.com, Roman Canal, number 7, the first goal of the season for young Roman Canal, the Wildcats defenseman, with an excellent game from the blue line as well. Also that snipe. And now, how about this guy? An assist on every single Wildcats goal. A primary assist, I might add. Ilya Skvortsov with a dominant night all over the ice in all 3 zones. He is tonight's Kona Ice number 1 star of the game as he makes his way onto the ice one last time. Skvortsov will pass the towel out to a fan down there in the front row. And that's going to just about wrap things up here from K. Yeager Coliseum. Again, folks, thank you so much for joining us tonight, taking time out of your Friday night to enjoy some Wildcats hockey. We really hope you enjoyed it on Fast Hockey and on YouTube. Alex Von Coitel with you as always, hoping you enjoyed the broadcasts. We know you enjoyed the outcome. Once more, the Wildcats 3, the Bulls 2. The Cats temporarily move into first place in the South Division standings. We hope to see you all out here next Saturday night as the Cats take on the Shreveport Mudbugs for the first time in franchise history. The Cats and the Bugs will be squaring off again next Saturday, 7:05 p.m. Central Time, a scheduled puck drop. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. We will be, sorry, folks, lost my train of thought there. We'll be having our Back the Blue jersey night that very same night in support of local law enforcement. All tickets for police officers, provided they show their badge at the door, will be free. They can get up to 4 tickets for just $5 each for immediate family members. Going to be a great night. The Wildcats will be wearing specialty jerseys, by the way, which will be auctioned off. And I've seen them, folks, and I got to tell you, they are something special. Big shout out to Debbie Fleetwood for the design of those jerseys. They look really great. So we're very much excited. Looking forward to next Saturday night's game against the Shreveport Mudbugs. Till then, we hope you all enjoy next week. I'm certainly going to enjoy the next couple of nights. It'll be nice to get a night off tomorrow night. I'm not sure what I'm going to do Saturday night without having to I'm not going to say having to, but getting the privilege of broadcasting a hockey game. But it's always nice to get a little break. So I'll certainly enjoy a full weekend off, which I really haven't had a day off in 2 weeks. So looking forward to that. And hopefully you guys all have a great week as well. Those of you tuning in who've stayed with us all the way to the end through the post-game show, thank you so much. Alex Von Coitel, from the bottom of my heart, thanking each and every one of you who stuck it out throughout the Fast Hockey broadcast tonight. The wonky, albeit beautifully shot Fast Hockey broadcast tonight. Until next Saturday against the Shreveport Mudbugs, live from K. Yeager Coliseum, Alex Von Coitel signing off. So long, everyone. Have a great and safe rest of your weekend.